Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 20.
Elevation and whatnot onto the Most High. You know, you could have allowed that go on a little longer. But Noble Crosby, Annan, and Codjoe, they will join me in studio in a tad. We get into the newspapers for you as well. Few of the papers are already making their way here. I'll take you online as well, review a number of the online portals and what the stories are. But the daily graphic is here, and big and bold on that front page reads that Cabinet approves mining law overhaul. Lands Ministry touts gains across sectors rather. Majority-minority clash over governor's appearance. Achimota Forest regains original status. And motorists raise concerns over Accra Tema motorway project. Patrice Amegashi. Motorway is on the front page. Quickly on the back page, Deschamps' dream farewell ends in heartbreak. Morris Kwanzaa's writing from Boston in the US of A. Those are the papers I have. I'm going to roll over pretty quickly to my gentleman. But first off, good mornings to
good morning.
Kay and Crosby. I hope the night was restful and it was good enough.
It's not morning.
It was okay. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Kay. How are you?
It was a good one.
It was a good one, huh?
Yes.
Phil, do you want to join us? The way you are making comments, you are passing comments left, right? No, we are doing newspaper review, so relax. I know the segment I will ask you to come and make a few comments. I know the segment I will ask you to come and make a few comments. But for now, relax. Okay? Relax.
Lord have mercy.
The Lord have mercy on us. Oh, I like that. The Lord have mercy. He's a merciful God. It's a merciful God. You have the rest of the papers. Let's get into it, and then I'm sure we can get a bit more in terms of details as well. Cross.
I'll start with the Daily Guide newspaper. The banner headline on the front page of the paper is Miracles Abuaji Speaks. Yoko never quizzed me on 55 million cedis stolen cash. And that's on page 3, and I'm sure this is coming from a social media post.
About from yesterday,
some of
right?
what transpired and or did not transpire at Yoko. But I say that, okay, you're telling us Yoko did not ask you about the stolen cash. So what did they ask you?
No, that one is not for your consumption.
So why are you telling me this one? Anyway,
just to energize the grassroots.
Yeah. I mean, the entire message was, talking about. Yeah, I'm not going to. This is not going to break me. This is not going to. So yeah, that's what he sought to use that message for, and he did it.
But how do you marry the two? So Iyoko took you because of quote unquote stolen funds. And that is why all the noise, everything, blah, 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 came. And then you come out and say that, yes, although they took me on stolen funds, they did not ask me about the stolen funds. So they took you on something different and they quizzed you on something different. Is that what happened? Is that how they operate anyways? We'll see. Also, the front page of the Daily Guide is Minority Boycotts BOG Briefing over Media Ban. That's on page 6 of the paper. It happened in Parliament yesterday. Government to earn 550 million cedis from KGL in 2027. NPP announced elections in 3 Ashanti constituencies on page 6. Ex-NAFCO boss fights AG over UK travel. And 2 Energy Commission staff caged. That's linked to the Aussie 208 million meth shipment. These are the stories you find on the front page of the Daily Guide. There's an interesting story. A story some people will find interesting. It's in Kenya. That's on page 5. They say courts reject Rastafari bid for religious marijuana.
Court does what?
Rejects Rastafari bid for religious marijuana.
We smoke in the name of religion. No, I'm asking if that's what the story is suggesting.
So the court refused to grant them the right to smoke marijuana on religious grounds. after members of the religious group sought an exemption from the country's narcotics laws rooted in British colonial rule. So they often use cannabis as part of what they term religious meditation. And they had been pushing the Kenyan court to grant them permission to use
so this is not Ghana.
No, this is not the, no, this
I
is
don't want to be high and reach the most high. That's fantastic.
high and mighty.
It's an interesting perspective. But I mean, what's the story with Rastafarians and marijuana, though? You know, because it's a very close combination. So when I say I'm Rasta at heart,
it means you are marijuana at lips. So the Kenya court said that they had not proved, they had failed to demonstrate during the hearing that marijuana was a necessary part of their religious practice.
So, but how will you prove? It's a belief system.
But that's what you went to say. That's what you went there to.
That's what is respectfully.
Have Christians been able to?
Yeah, that's what is. I respectfully disagree with
what I'm saying is that
no, it's a belief system.
And you went to the court to.
So
somebody can be pouring water on stone every morning and be bowing to it. And believe there is something in it. So if yours is to believe,
if you are going to court, you don't go to court on belief. You go to court with some of these things.
No, I'm just saying that religion is a very dicey area because it's matters of belief.
It reminds me of an American, an old American man who says he's 18 years old and wants to go back to college. You know,
he identifies as an 18-year-old.
Yes, he identifies as an 18-year-old and wants to go back to college. Because if people can be born male or female and decide to identify otherwise, then he has also decided to identify as an 18-year-old.
Yeah. I remember that. And there's
you remember that story? Yeah?
That's the mental illness
some
conversation.
Grown black man. He went to join some of these protests, and then they asked him why he was there. He says he identifies as a white lesbian.
A full-grown man.
Full-grown black man. Like macho man. He says, when he said it, the people there were like, what kind of thing is this? He said, that's what you people make us feel. We see you as boys, say you are a girl. They mean to, I feel I'm a white lesbian.
It's a conversation for what's not.
Anyway, so the Kenya people, they said, while all witnesses agreed that cannabis is used as a sacrament, they could not agree on whether its use is essential or merely preferred. So that's it for
14%. So GDP is actually 6.4%, not less 6.4%. An MPC rate is 14%. 91-day Treasury bill rate is 5.7880%. And 182-day Treasury bill rate is 7.7882%. And the banner headlines reads, Government revokes EI 144 to restore Achimota Forest. Steps up fight against Galamsey. And NAS set to deploy 500 RMUs nationwide. Establish customary land secretariats to curb land disputes, traditional leaders told. And informal cross-border trade hits 31 billion Ghana cedis. The Ghana Statistical Service. And why Accra floods demand distributed resilience, not another great pond. And then we have
on the back page, right?
Back page, protect Ramsar site. TDC urges Nungwa Traditional Council, and MOFA receives pickups, motorbikes for Farmers' Day award.
Let me take us online for brief details as well from there. 3news.com. Minority walks out over majority's decision not to allow media coverage of VOG governors' answers to urgent questions. Make sanitation a priority. Local government minister charges MMDC ease Messi magic sends Argentina into World Cup final with dramatic comeback against England. Lawyers for ex-NAFCO CEO urge courts to dismiss all charges against him. Western region, it's because they are broilers, poultry farmers in Ifia Kwesimintim on high mortality rate of birds. By joinline.com, Ghana must end the cycle where every high-profile investigation becomes political. CDD fellow is saying this. Don't blame only Yoko officers. Hold their political bosses accountable or psycho. It takes huge akukudru to do business in Ghana. Indum react after Supreme Court holds GN savings revival. Minority interested in media optics, not answers to questions from BOG governor majority. And BOG to roll out new digital banking framework as financial sector goes more digital. City Newsroom, declaring detained MP seat vacant sets dangerous precedent. You are not giving us any details. Mama Yarega is the majority leader. Cooking oil tops Ghana's informal food import as cross-border trade deficit doubles. Gold Coast Fund customers demand full payouts in mid-year budget. SEC warns public against Yep-Bit exchange bond charts investment schemes. And NIA photocopying Ghana card for transactions now illegal. Mahama Ayarega, that's Ghana Web. Mahama Ayarega breaks silence on possible declaration of MP Kwame Frimpone's seat vacant. The fish on your plate. Does anyone know where it comes from? Is an opinion. Power outages, erratic water supply, and road safety concerns remain major. Those are the details you find on Ghana Web. We can get into a bit more in terms of details. Where we want to start from? I want us to start maybe quick thoughts first off from the Achimota Forest regaining its original status. Yesterday, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources was in Parliament. He had a number of details with respect to his sector. The first is Achimota Forest regaining its original status. And so the story reads, it's by Kester Abraham Crunchy, reads that Cabinet has revoked Executive Instrument 144 as amended by EI 234, effectively ensuring that the Achimota Forest retains its original status as a forest reserve to provide an ecological safety zone for Accra and its environs. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, who announced this at the Government Accountability Series at the Presidency yesterday, described the decision taken on June 24, 2026 as historic and a major victory for environmental protection. I am happy to announce a historic cabinet decision taken on the 24th of June 2026 to revoke EI 144 as amended by EI 234, effectively ensuring that the Achimota Forest retains its original status as a forest reserve and providing ecological safety zone for Accra and its environs. Mr. Boa said EI 144 had removed approximately 361 acres from the reserve's protected area, thereby availing that area for other purposes, including physical development. The revocation, however, overturns that prospect altogether, reversing the potential to exploit the forest reserve for alternative uses. Still on the minister, and we're just seeing pictures of it. Vast forest area. We said we were going to revoke its status and anyways, I'll come to you for thoughts on that shortly. What I want to do as well, and I'll have us listen to the minister as well. What I want to do is combine the other bits on what he said, and then I'll come to you guys. Also, that Cabinet has approved mining law overhaul. So. Same Kester with this story says the Cabinet has approved a comprehensive review of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703. The bill to amend the law has been forwarded to Parliament for passage. as the government moves to tighten regulation on the country's mineral resources and reposition the sector for national development. Now, speaking at the Government Accountability Series at the Presidency in Accra yesterday, the Minister and Natural Resources, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, presented an account of the ministry's performance. Now, on mining law reforms, to be specific, it says that Act 703, which had been in force for 2 decades, had been reviewed following stakeholder consultation and endorsement by Cabinet for transmission to Parliament. He said that the revised bill introduced district mining committees as the entry point for licensing, created a new medium-scale mining category, and abolished the reconnaissance license in favor of a single prospecting license capped at 5 years. Mining leases will now be fixed at a maximum of 20 years, and every lease will carry a mandatory community development agreement. The revised bill provides an updated, coherent, and forward-looking legal regime to ensure that mining contributes immensely to national development, he said. Mr. Boa added that Cabinet also revised the minerals and mining policy first drawn up in 2014 to strengthen local content and domestic value addition in the sector alongside the Minerals and Mining Royalties Regulation 2025. So I'm just going to have us listen to the minister as well on Achimota and then Galamsey as well, and then I'll come in studio for quick thoughts as well. So here's Lands Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa in his own words yesterday.
Happy to announce a historical $1,225 pumping machines were seized. We demobilized 765 Shamfan machines. We destroyed 35 tricycles. Motorbikes that were seized were 212. Stretchers destroyed 430. And gold detectors that we seized was 40. All this in the Forest Reserve alone. And I'm happy to tell you, today I'm not here to tell you about red zones because we have not had any red zone, which means that government supporting the Forestry Commission is firmly in control of our forests. Wildlife resource management regulations as part of efforts.
So that's the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. My gentleman, I'm coming to you first off on Achimota and then what he says as well as an update in terms of the fight against Galamsey Cross.
So this is some piece of good news, Mawuena, and we can trace the journey of the Achimota Forest to as far as we can go, from the acquisition and creation of the reserve and why it was, made the way it is from the colonial masters and all of that. You can fast forward to petitions from the Owu family, that's somewhere 2007, 2008, where they petitioned the Kufu administration for the release of unused portions, arguing that compensation had not been paid after the acquisition and all of that. Fast forward to 2011 to 2014, there were conversations about an increase in acreage that also generated some hot conversations from the then lands minister. I'm talking about Inisa Fuseni. 2016 to 2018, that's when a lot of the conversation about what to do with the forest started coming up. The proposed Accra Eco Park. At that time, government pursued a plan to transform the core forest into what they were calling at that time an eco-tourism facility. Some hectares was reportedly granted to, I think, Aiken Capital a sword cutting ceremony was held. The project was valued at 1.2 billion cedis. However, by 2018, the Forestry Commission said it was reviewing the agreement because the project had not taken off as expected. Now, this conversation about the Eco Park proposal, it showed, if you like, a central contradiction in the governance of the Achimota forest. Now, government wanted to preserve the forest, commercialize it, settle historical land claims, and release part for private development at the same time. So that's when all of the conversation about what to do with Achimota forest started. Number one, you want to protect the forest, you want to preserve the forest. Number two, you want to commercialize it. Number three, you want to settle historical land claims. And number four, you want to release parts for private development. You want to do all of this at the same time. Now, in 2018 again, the Forestry Commission discovered that areas including the nursery and a certain station had been inadvertently included in the land allocated for release, even though they were ecologically sensitive. So why did it happen in the first place? Now, it attempted to exchange those areas for other portions of the forest. You can go and talk about another increase in the acreage from 2020 to 2022. In April and May 2022, that's when EI 144 came in, declassifying some 361.5 acres. It took effect 1st May, and this is what happened when this EI happened, when this EI came into force. It removed 361.5 acres, or 146 hectares, from the protected reserve. So it separated them. It redefined the area that was to remain protected. And the Akufo-Addo government insisted that the forest had not been sold and that the excised areas had already been leased to the Owu family under earlier decisions. However, at that time, the Ghana Institute of Planners argued that the excised areas were not merely insignificant peripheral land. What they were saying is that what you have given out through the EI 144 was a core part of the forest, so you could not, it's not advisable for you to do that. Fast forward, the Sir John controversy came in. After the will of the former Forestry Commission Chief Executive,
I think that's what even made the conversation very topical.
Yes.
When it was revealed that portions of the forest had been willed to some persons forever and what have you, right?
That's when the Sir John conversation also came. 2023 to 2024, EI 234 reduces but does not end the declassification. So in 2023 and 2024, there was another executive instrument issued in 2023 and amended the earlier agreement.
That's
and the earlier
EI 144.
Yes. The public accounts indicated that approximately 260 acres remained declassified. So we're trying to reduce the number of what we sought to do in the first place.
So more like 100 acres was saved off because initially it was 361 acres.
In August 2024, the then lands minister, and I'm talking about Samuel Abu-Jinapor, he said negotiations had reduced the land intended for release from approximately 362 to about 262, just like you're saying, allowing government to retain roughly 100 acres as an additional ecological buffer. 2025, a new government comes in, and then increased calls for the Forestry Commission to reverse everything that has happened. It eventually petitioned President Mahama to revoke EI 144, arguing that the declassification increased the danger of encroachment and degradation. Because Ghana we live, you open a small pathway now, everybody will enter through. And if we had continued on that tangent, a few years after, the forest would completely be missing.
Would have been gone.
Even when it is a forest, gradually people are taking portions and chopping portions of it. Now, this was significant because the institution that had participated in earlier leases, earlier variations and recommendations, was now asking government to reverse the legal framework created from those decisions. So my question is, what changed? Is it the leadership of the institution now, or a general direction of the country that influenced the desires of the institution?
Here's what I would say in terms of a response. It was going to be a disaster.
Certainly.
Right? A disaster if the Achimota forest was allowed to have been developed, particularly in the nature in which we develop, or we seem to understand urban development these days. Everywhere is tarred, construction monstrosities. The runoff water alone, which would have come from the Achimota forest into Joulu and its environs, we would have been in so much trouble, which is why there were so many questions asked as to why we were seeking to do what it is that we did. I remember very well because when that news came in about EI 144, I actually made a trip to the Achimota forest and I did a report from there. In fact, someone showed me that report about 3 or 4 months ago. I was looking very skinny and all that. And the conversation at the time, you could not believe. I remember the lawyer for the Owu family, as they were pushing for ownership, the land to be returned to them, amongst many other things, saying that construction monstrosities was not going to happen. But everybody was not going to, nobody believed it. Because it is a prime land, Achimota Forest, prime. You drive from there, you are getting into Joulu.
Yes.
And then you are coming into Kanda and Obasanjo Highway. You are pretty much entering the heart of town.
Exactly. So this no doubt is a very good decision, and I'm sure all environmentalists would agree. Reversing this 2022 decision and preventing the land from being treated as ordinary property available for residential or commercial development. That is essentially what this means. You see, if you travel through Accra, you'd find places where people are developing everywhere. The state has sold lands. People are just building everything. But this is essentially protecting the forest so that this does not happen to it. We can look at the impact of this ruling. First, you mentioned the environmental
decision,
impacts.
not ruling.
Well, makes sense. The decision. We know how important the forest is, and you spoke about floods as well. So this will continue to help let the forest absorb rainwater and reducing surface runoff. Already, the engineers and planners have spoken to us about how water is not absorbed in Accra. It runs off, and then the whole place is flooded. Improving air quality is also one of the reasons. Protecting wildlife and plant species, all of those are part of the environmental impact of this decision. Legally, too, this is what it means, that this land can no longer legally be developed as ordinary private property. So there's some finality to that. However, there are questions about already existing leases. Because if you follow the journey that we went through, there are groups of people, family members, who started conversations about portions of the land, subleases, permits, and agreements issued while the land was declassified. So while the declassification happened years ago, people took advantage, not wrongly, because the opportunity was there for them to do it because it was declassified. So people maybe got some advantages from the declassification, got leases, subleases, and all of that. Now, governments now will have to identify which interests exist and determine whether these leases, subleases should be cancelled, renegotiated, or compensated. So there are some legal battles that will happen as a result of this. But there's also the political impact. People see it as a political victory for President Mahama.
Really?
Because it reverses a controversial decision made under the Akufo-Addo government.
If we go back, there may have been some words to suggest that when we come, we'll reverse this.
So that is why people will see it as a political victory. But most importantly, to the public interest, the public will now have some levels of confidence that, we are concerned about protecting the environment that we say. It's a good step. We're not doing too well. We're not doing as we expect to do in Galamsey.
He says there are no red zones. There are no forest red zones.
Come there.
You are there already, so speak to it. Because when I'm going to K,
let K talk about the forest, and then we'll delve into the red zones as well. Yeah. We'll talk about how we may not be doing as we expect to do in Galamsey, but there's work being done. But this is major. This is no joke at all.
Okay, Achimota Forest is back as a forest reserve.
Yes.
And nobody can go and develop it.
Simply, that's what it means.
Yeah, it's a major step towards ecological protection, right?
Yes. In fact, I went to Achimota Primary School. And so I'm passionate about anything Achimota. Yes.
The right pronunciation is Achi. Johnny Hughes has a way of saying Achimota or something like that.
You don't make noise here.
Oh, that's what it means?
Yes. You don't make noise here.
2.7.
Oh, I see.
You don't make noise here. There's something interesting about the school anthem. It's embedded in your DNA, right from admission. It says from Gambaga to Accra, from Weaso to Kita. We are brothers and our mother is our school. She will guide us all in each, so to learn that we may teach, so to subjugate ourselves that we may rule. Play the game, shout her name, spread her fame afar. She's the head of all the hosts. She's the school of whom we boast. She's the glory of the coast.
Achimota Forest.
Achimota Forest is one of Akufo-Addo's greatest governance sins. Because to think a forest reserve could be subjected to what it was subjected to, it's quite unfortunate. I think that the worst part is when we heard it formed part of someone's will,
private will.
I think that was the biggest part of
person's will.
In fact, the person was the boss of the Forestry Commission.
He was the boss of Forestry Commission. That's the late Sir John. And so it's funny when, fast forward, we hear opposition make noise about some of these things. We forget too quickly, or probably they've forgotten too quickly, what Ghanaians have had to deal with and why Ghanaians kicked them out.
3FM 92.7.
But my major concern is, whilst Achimota Forest is being saved, Abesewa Forest is under siege. Abesewa Forest is in the Ashanti region. And as much as the concentration is on Achimota Forest, it's important to highlight what's happening in Abesewa Forest, where the NDC MP in the area and the MCE have been fingered and accused of Galamsey.
That's the video, yeah?
Yes, this video was recorded live in the Abesewa Forest by the social commentator.
Umar Shako.
Yes. He's very vociferous in his advocacy. As we can see on the screen, there's Galamsey activity ongoing. So yesterday there were calls for NIMOS to intervene. There were calls for the police to intervene. In fact, he made very damning allegations. And I think it's important that government pays attention to the things this young man is saying. Because he's not talking out of vacuum. He's on the premises.
Actually, yeah.
And he's seeing it in real time.
I think that's why Crosby was saying that we'll get to the Galamsey conversation, because as much as we're being told there are no red zones, district chief executives, at least per this allegation, are still allowing within their catchment areas illegal mining to take place. And that, for all of the good work you do, will be unpardonable, because our forests are security zones.
Yes.
I remember that very well from last year. Security zones where persons cannot just wake up, walk into, and begin to mine. We actually also reversed the legislation which allowed for mining in forest reserves. We've done all that. We've actually reversed legislation. I remember it was one of the many things this government was criticized for last year, when I remember Felix Kwachofus was on Key Points, and he was explaining why he had delayed in reversing the legislation. LI 2462.
2462, yeah.
2462. It allowed mining in forest reserves. So we've done the stories, so we remember it easily. LI 2462, right? And the legislation to the revocation, it went to Parliament. It matured because it's an LI, 21 sitting days, and it was revoked, and the government announced it. So, without permit and whatever, because even the regime where forest areas could be places where persons could go to and mine, the government says that legislation was bogus. We've withdrawn it, right? So, there must be special understanding, special working for what is happening to be happening. And once that is not available, I'm sorry, but there cannot be a justification as to why.
Of course, Mawuena,
the mining will be in the nature and the manner in which it is.
Some hard facts here. We have 288 forest reserves as a country, but official assessments have indicated that 44 forest reserves are under severe threat from illegal mining, with more than 5,000 hectares already devastated. Authorities say they have made over 1,300 arrests and seized 425 excavators in the current anti-galamsey campaign, including arrests linked to the Abesiwa forest. So if we say we have made progress, why are we still having this same conversation, like we saw in the video that was playing on the screen some few moments ago? It's disappointing. I feel the whole NIMOS thing is cosmetic, to be very honest with you, because we've seen our armed forces, doing so well at peacekeeping, keeping the peace of other countries. And it's funny that we have relegated our armed forces to the roadside while some of these things continue. Because I will believe NIMOS is not cosmetic if I stop hearing reports that Galamsey continues to thrive and the Galamsey economy continues to boom, and there are more and more recruits, and not to talk of just even the devastation of our forests. We should look at the impact on the livelihoods in the communities, the impact at large for Ghana as a country. Because whilst we sit in Accra and feel because I'm in Accra, we forget these are water bodies. These are farming areas.
They grow the food in these areas.
And you and I know in Ghana, when you're driving on the country or by the country, it's easy to just stop and buy a tuber of yam or a bag of cassava. And who knows? Who knows?
Who knows where it's been grown, right?
Yeah.
So Cross, I'll come to you on Galamsey, but just to let listeners know that, look, you can send us a message right now via WhatsApp, right? Put down these numbers. It's a number through which you can be a part of the conversation all throughout. 053 220 0927. 053 220 0927. That's our WhatsApp line here on the 3FM Sunrise. It's where if there's a pothole that's been ignored, if there's a flooded streets, there's illegal dumping, an abandoned project, there's corruption, there's illegal mining, poor service from a public institution, or any issue that's making life difficult in your community, don't just complain. Show it to us. Send us videos, photos, voice note, messages. Trust me, I'll do all of the reading for you here on the show along with the rest of my colleagues. The number is 053 220 0927. 053 220 0927. And we're on standby to, as always, have you be a part of the conversation. Cross, I'll come to you quickly on Galamsey, and then yesterday, something very interesting happened in Parliament. The BOG governor was to provide answers, and then they drove the media out. But you speak to me on...
Sacked the media.
Yeah, speak to me, Galamsey, briefly.
Well, this is what I'd say about it. I want to acknowledge that we are doing something on Galamsey, the work of NIMUS, and maybe some other agencies or some other institutions, Blue Water Guard, all of those. We seem to be doing something. It may be yielding some results, so well done on that. However, the concern is so big that we cannot overly congratulate ourselves when we say that there are no red zones. Yes, initially there were red zones. Now there are no red zones. And that does not mean that Galamsey is not happening in these areas. When the minister says there are no red zones, it simply means that these red zones that originally existed or that hitherto existed, there were areas that the state could not even go there because maybe the miners were too armed and the state did not have intelligence, like nothing. That's what it means. That's what it meant, that the state was, quote unquote, handicapped when it comes to these areas. Now, the good news is that it says there are no red zones. So, again, a red zone means that an area that is heavily occupied by illegal miners, that the Forestry Commission officers and state security agencies cannot safely enter or exercise effective control. That is why it was classified as a red zone.
Yeah, I think we were told that as well, and that they had gone forth and found a way to take over these areas so that Forestry Commission officials can begin to go into those areas.
If there are no red zones, I want to ask how many orange zones are there?
What are the classification of the...
Yes.
Of
So after the red is the orange. And then there are other colors that come until we reach green. That will mean that the place is free of Galamsey. What we are reading here is that 10 forest reserves are still reportedly classified as orange zones. And that means that there is still work to be done. While we are being happy that we have eliminated all the red zones, there are orange zones that still need to be worked on. Also note that no red zones does not mean no Galamsey. A forest reserve can contain illegal miners and still not be classified as a red zone. It may be classified instead as orange, yellow, or another category, and that depends on the number of the illegal operators, the level of environmental destruction, whether the miners are armed, and so forth. All of that happen. One of the things that we need to now do after removing the red zones, but there's still the existence of orange zones, is to regain security control. If we have regained them, then we also need to now work on achieving environmental recovery. And that will involve all the orange zones, dealing with them as well, and then restoring the vegetation. if you're removing the people, the illegal miners, the armed people, and removing the red zones, it does not restore destroyed vegetation, does not restore the polluted rivers, the lost biodiversity, and all of that. It still means that there's still work to be done. While you remove the red zones, how many hectares have been completely reclaimed? Okay, how many areas have been completely replanted?
3FM
How many vegetation has survived? How many rivers are recovering? You understand? How many abandoned pits have you filled? How many lands have you reclaimed? What is the cost of reclamation? Who is paying for the damage and all of that? All of this will add up to the conversation to paint a very good picture of what we're doing when it comes to Galamsey. Not only the dealing with the red zones. It's good to do that, but there's still a lot more to be done. Reclaim the lands, replant trees,
right?
Recover the areas, the river bodies that have been polluted. How many are recovering? At what rate are they recovering? Are people still going back into the forest reserves to do the things that they're not supposed to do? You understand? So that as a country, we'll be able to know a certain direction we're on, know the progress that we're achieving, and whether or not we need to do something different. Because just coming to tell us that there are no red zones, although it is good, I've said it's good already, and I've also acknowledged that we're doing something, does not mean
there's a need for more, right?
There's definitely a need for more.
There's a message on Facebook, Nanaya Amponsa, who says that the Achimota means speak no name, or you don't mention a person's name in Ga. And so he sends that one in as well. But I'm going to come to us on this, what played out in Parliament yesterday. The BOG governor was to provide some answers to urgent questions. And okay, here's how it played out, right? Right, I understand there's no sound. And the minority deciding to walk out on the matter of accountability. The majority and the minority all held news conferences. The minority were raising concerns, and that story is in the graphic. The Opon Kuma, who addressed the press on behalf of the minority, said as a result of the majority's decision not to allow the press to cover the answers, they decided not to participate in the deliberation as well. He said that the BOG since August 2024 are not undertaking direct market interventions and what have you. The majority also says, there's nothing to be afraid of. We wanted to prevent them from doing optics, things for media optics and all of that. I don't recall. Yeah, there are instances where the house is cleared and
they call it a committee of the whole.
Yes, committee of the whole one. Yes, committee of the whole one. And in certain instances, when they are discussing emolument and some other matters, they sack the media. But the BOG governor was a bit, I don't know. I didn't know how to take that when the news came round.
Was he the one who suggested the media should leave, or it was the majority?
No, that's not the. I think the majority suggested the media leaves
because the BOG governor was coming to talk to members of parliament.
Christian Yale was in Parliament.
Right.
We'll get him on the phone to provide a bit more in terms of the details whilst we get the reaction.
Because I think
the key issues really is that the governor was invited to answer
questions,
parliamentary questions on the Bank of Ghana's foreign exchange intervention and the recent appreciation of the cedi. And however, the majority insisted a briefing be held as a committee of the whole, a procedure that may be conducted in camera. And then the minority argued there was no justification for excluding the media because similar appearances by the governor and other state officials had previously been covered publicly. So rather than participate, they walked out saying Parliament should not shield matters of significant public economic interest from scrutiny. The minority's concern, according to ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee, that's Honorable Opon Nkrumah, the caucus wanted answers to questions including the reported decline of about $2.2 billion in Ghana's gross international reserves, whether Bank of Ghana reserves were used to support the cedi, the framework governing foreign exchange interventions, and the amount of forex injected into the market. The governor's written response reportedly maintained that since August 2024, the bank had not directly intervened in the forex market using official reserves, but had instead relied largely on proceeds from the domestic gold purchase program for forex intermediation. And then the majority's position, led by the
leader himself, Mahama
Ayariga, he defended the decision, arguing that the committee of the whole engagements with heads of state institutions are commonly conducted in camera, and that the arrangement was not intended to deny the public access to information. I think that has been the concerns, but why it matters is because of Parliament's oversight role, which requires rigorous questioning of the central bank, and also transparency, suggests discussing the cedi and how it's been able to perform so well in so little time,
3FM
and whether
92.7.
the discussions affecting the cedi reserves and monetary policy should be open to public scrutiny and things like that.
Right. Here's what I think, right? Because I mean, the debate is it comes off strange. It comes off strange because yes, I can agree politicization of every issue, but what will be said, right? What will be said which has not been said before when the governor made his way to Parliament? What would have been revealed which has not been revealed before? What was extraordinary that a sitting of the whole was required for? You know, because the economic data is always there anyways.
Yeah.
If the argument is a minority should not get an opportunity for optics in the media, they came out and they held a news conference anyways. And so it comes off a bit strange in sincerity, in terms of perception.
But the majority
General
also
perception
maintains that it followed parliamentary practice.
No.
You
see, there is no problem
is not the procedure.
about procedure.
The procedure
it's about
is available
perception,
to you. Use it.
Right?
But in terms of perception, the optics, accountability, transparency, what does it say? You have not faulted. You have not made
as for
any
procedure,
wrong.
you follow the rules.
You understand?
But what people make of it? What are you hiding?
So my concern is if it follows parliamentary procedure, then there was no need to walk out because you could have stayed.
Yes, as for that, we can argue on that front. You stay and you
So
ask your
when we
questions.
talk about the optics, in this case, are we limiting it to the majority or are we extending
Okay,
it
so
to both?
here's
Because you could have stayed. Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right.
here's what when I say
And
optics,
when we say two wrongs, you see, procedurally
it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. And they walking out too is not wrong.
They walking out is not wrong, but you say you have questions.
Yes.
You have
So
questions.
it is
to
not
ask.
two wrongs. It is two procedures with different with perspectives.
Two wrongs in perspective form. Does not make it right.
Let me connect with Christian Yale quickly, right? Because he was in Parliament for us yesterday on this development. Master Chris, I like to call him Dr. Yale. I trust that all is well with you. You were in the House yesterday. How did this all play out? I mean, how did it even become a subject matter of a committee of the whole sitting for the answering of the questions by the BOG governor?
Eric, in fact, there were other questions for other ministers. So I know the Communications Minister, Sam George, had already come to answer his questions. And in fact, that is where the whole walkout issue started from, because a question largely, the main question to Sam George was about why government has decided to undertake a new SIM registration exercise. And so he had answered that in his first answer, indicated that the first registration exercise did not link the information gathered from the registrants to their biometrics, but only to the biodata on the Ghana card. And so some unscrupulous persons can advantage because of the weaknesses in the current register, take advantage that take fraudulent activities, identity theft, swap SIMs, and a whole lot. So there were supplementary questions. One supplementary question asked for the cost or whether there will be cost incurred by government or customers. And he in fact, initially the first deputy speaker who was presiding decided to overrule that question because the main question was to ask why and did not ask about cost. But despite the first deputy speaker overruling the question, Sam George, in responding to another supplementary question, then answered and said it will come at no cost to the customer. Now, the first instance of the walkout started this way, that the minority leader had wanted to find out that if the minister, in answering a question, has stated an issue of fact by saying that it will come at no cost, then he would want to know more about it. In fact, this was something that the majority leader even agreed to, that, see, the question was not advertised, or it wasn't the main question transmitted to the speaker, to the minister to come to respond, but he himself, in answering, has made a statement of fact. So anyone at all could follow up by asking for a further explanation to what the speaker, the minister, has said, which is on record, you understand. So he wanted to know whether there will be procurement issues, there will be some procurement of new materials and co. Again, the minority leader wanted to know the specific number of people who have used the current register to undertake fraudulent activities. And the speaker again would say that, see, that is something that the minister would have to get the data right before he can come back to answer. So for these two sets of questions on procurement related to the cost the minister mentioned, and then the other issue about the specific number of people who have used the current register to undertake fraudulent acts, which were both dismissed or overruled by the speaker, the minority thought that it was not right, and then the speaker could have just allowed the minister answer the question to his maximum capacity. In fact, Sam George eventually came to answer and said that he will go and check the figures and get back to the house, which was an answer, in a way, to the question. So that was the first walkout. Now, after that, and in fact, the questions to the BOG governor, Eric, were advertised on the order paper. And his written responses were equally advertised on the order paper.
So it was even there for you to see in the media? Because
exactly.
Once you get a copy of the order paper, which you and I both know, having traversed the chambers of parliament.
And so Eric, and so for many of us, I even thought it was going to be a public Q&A with the BOG governor, because the questions were in the order paper. The responses that you were coming to read to the public records were also published in the order paper. But after Sam George was done, they laid some papers, and then the speaker, as it were, would ask the majority leadership what is the next thing on the order paper, because sometimes they can vary it. Then said that they would dissolve into a committee of the whole so that they can have the BOG governor. So I was like, why committee of the whole? Because if it is to be a private discussion, then why publish his responses in the order paper, where the media has, the MPs, everyone has? So what it means basically is that I could have even gone ahead of myself to even work some stories or headline cards out of the answers or the written responses I've seen on the order paper, but decided to wait for him to put it on public record, then I will do the story. So that is where the second walkout actually came from, because, but Eric, when you look at the standing order 2661, it indicates that proceedings of a committee may be held publicly except otherwise determined by the committee. And committee of the whole, which involves both sides of the house doing business, and mostly per practice, they will not open that to the media. So the Parliament TV guys who stream proceedings would go off, would stop streaming, they'll go off. And then as well, everyone, including guests and media who are public gallery, would be asked to step out. The gates or the doors leading to the chamber, both top and down, would be locked by the marshals. Until they are done, then a bell will be rung, and then the doors will be opened. Then the Parliament TV would equally start streaming the rest of the public business. So that is what happened. And the minority were of the view that, see, if you are doing that, because after all, there have been instances where committee of the whole has happened and it was open to the media, everything happened on public record. There have been instances with the Electoral Commission. So the whole idea about committee of the whole is that for heads of independent constitutional bodies like Electoral Commission, NCCE, Bank of Ghana, and the rest, when they come, they usually would want to do business with them behind closed doors where you don't have everything done publicly. But there are instances of such meetings done and broadcast live, where some media houses like ourselves and others
they come with
live.
So more often than not, when the in-camera committee of the whole sittings happen, is for sensitive subjects sometimes.
Exactly.
Right? Sensitive subject. The question which is being asked is whether or not this was a sensitive subject when the details which were to be provided by the BOG governor were already captured on the order paper and all of that.
So let me give you a quick brief. Now, the BOG governor, the three questions that were advertised for him were largely to ask him about what interventions the Bank of Ghana has made concerning Ghana's forex reserves. So let me just read a question asked by Codjoe. The first question was to ask the governor of the Bank of Ghana the source of the forex being used for the foreign exchange market intervention. The second question related to that, to ask the governor of the Bank of Ghana what framework for foreign exchange market intervention is currently being used by the Bank of Ghana. And the last question was to ask the governor of the Bank of Ghana how much forex intervention has been undertaken by the Bank of Ghana since 7th January 2025. These are the three questions for the BOG governor.
Fair. Chris, we'll leave it here. I'm sure there'll be a bit more subsequently, but I appreciate you joining us this morning as well.
I'm grateful, Eric.
That's Christian Yali is my colleague. So let me come back in studio now. We've had at least bits and pieces in terms of how it all played out. And so it looked like he had been simmering for some time. But again, it will come down to the fact that, I mean, if the responses were in the order paper already, it looks some way, but...
Yes, it does look some way, because although the responses are, there's a written response to the questions that have been asked. You know, what is written and what will be said may carry different meanings. Some additions may be made here and there. So you never know. Maybe as you read the written response, you may be tempted to add an explanation here and there, break a few things down, and that will throw more light on some things. So that's where the concern is. The majority did not clearly explain what information required the levels of, I want to say, secrecy that they demanded. Because, again, the questions have been asked, the responses have been provided. So why the quote-unquote secrecy? The governor was discussing public issues involving the city, involving foreign exchange, gold purchases, and Ghana's reserves.
You have the order paper. I have the order paper. Chris has even sent me the order paper.
And these matters affect every Ghanaian. So unless you tell us the reason why so and so is happening, don't leave us to assume we know why you want to have this on the committee of the whole.
Right.
You understand? If you do that, it's not good. The majority should have separated sensitive information from general information. So if there are ordinary questions that the governor can respond to, come and tell us. and then also make us know that because of so and so, this group or this class of information I cannot give to you here, and I'll give it to you in private. Then we know why you are doing that. There should be reasons why people do things, because we are not a banana republic. You are representing people. You understand?
The responses are all here. So on the first question, there's a story 629. Since August 2024, the Bank of Ghana has not undertaken direct FX market interventions, as its FX operations do not draw on the central bank's reserves. Instead, FX intermediation has been executed through the domestic gold. So the responses are here. I mean,
exactly. The responses are there. But what you'd say, maybe you would add a little flesh and all of that.
In terms of the details.
Details, yes. But the minority should also not be spared.
They are walkout.
Why did you walk out? It was a strategic mistake. They lost the opportunity to question the governor. They lost the opportunity to challenge the figures, and then to demand explanations directly from the governor while he was there, because you're not there to ask questions. When you ask the questions, you get the responses. Then you can come out and come and say that, oh, I asked him so and so, this is what he said. Now you are not there. It means the entire narrative is in the hands of the majority. Again, you were not there, so you did not hear.
Yes, exactly.
The majority will come and tell us, the Bank of Ghana came and said A, B, C, D, when maybe what the Bank of Ghana governor came in and said was 1, 2, 3. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, you were not even there to
you understand.
To do this.
So
okay.
It's,
final word on this. Then, OK Frimpong. There's not been an update. I've seen that the majority leader spoke yesterday to Accra-based City FM and says that it will be premature, or it's unlikely to declare his seat vacant, because declaring someone's seat vacant when he's in detention, it doesn't quite fall within the category of missing the 15 mandatory sittings. Otherwise, it will open the floodgates where persons can then just do things and detain a member of parliament, and then it will force a declaration of the seat being vacant. On that score, the argument, sounds, there's a bit of reason in it. But what's happened to him? Why is he still in detention? There has been no update provided to the good people of Ghana after the initial one. Is he still in the Netherlands? There were reports he's been extradited to the US. Last week, when we had a member of parliament on the majority side here, and I asked that question, he told me behind the scenes that there was no updates that he could provide to me. And so it comes back to, yes, the conversation as to whether a seat should be declared vacant and all of that will go on for a while. But we should be getting some details, some updates. Or I'm alone and mistaken on that front. Just quickly, Billy Shan is here.
Maybe Kay wants to talk about the minority people first, and then.
I think for the minority and the majority, like Cross rightfully mentioned, sometimes not sometimes, the optics are equally important.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I think it would have only been fair to allow the in-camera proceeding.
And they should have stayed for it to have happened as well.
Yes. So for me, it's just one of their usual misunderstandings, because I don't think the minority was right to walk out and deny themselves the opportunity to ask their 21 questions, to help us understand. Because, every government needs a strong opposition.
Yeah.
And it does not matter the size of the opposition in parliament. Once they exist, they have every right to ask the questions that are of public interest. So for me, I think the minority goofed in that regard, and I also think the majority could have done a better
job.
I mean, why shouldn't the media cover it? It is when the media covers it that the citizens get to appreciate
a bit more.
Then it's not coming from
the politicians themselves.
The politician says. So it leaves room for speculation. It leaves room for suspicion. And I think Ghana is moving beyond that kind of politics. So they were equally wrong.
Right. On the question of the whereabouts of the Asante Achim North Member of Parliament, when we return after sports, we'll ask that question again before we get into the big conversations. But when we get into the big conversations. But Bele Shen is here. He will do sport for us. Gentlemen, thank you very much. You do sport for us as well in Itan. Bele Shen is in the studio to do sports. But before I will open his microphone, there are certain statements of facts I need to reiterate to him. There can never, Bill, listen to me. There will never be a conversation as to who the greatest footballer ever is. Hear this. You see, I don't need your truth. You see, you can carry your opinions. Listen, when God decided to come down and play football, he is the Messiah. He removed A and H and left us with Messi. Do you know what it means when they say someone is anointed of God? Anointed to do something? You sit and you rant, blaspheming left, right, and center. There can never, ever be. You watched the game yesterday. You were marveled. I was hoping Mutala would join you in studio this morning so that you will listen. Your microphone is off, Masa. Your microphone is off. So I'm saying that you will listen 4 minutes. You will listen to what I have to say first. That there is no conversation. It doesn't exist. It exists in your minds as to who the greatest ever is, and that accept it. I don't need you on our side. You can continue to blaspheme for whatever it is, but accept the truth. Phil, I will turn on the microphone for Phil as well. You understand? No. I said 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'm using. Oh, again. Relax. You've been making noise since yesterday. Phil was speaking. He was talking. I said, look, when you watch Messi play football, does it not draw you closer to God? Like, does it not? No, when you watch a man play football, does it not draw you closer to God? When the anointing of God is on somebody, until the person is dead, until the person is what? He's dead. It doesn't go off. When Saul was anointed to be king over Israel, what happened? Until his last day, David did not touch him. You understand what I'm saying? Bill, I will open the microphone for you now.
Oh, so you're done?
No, I have to proceed on other fronts. But let's get into serious conversations now.
Yes.
You watched the game yesterday.
Yeah.
It was that first half was a difficult watch because it wasn't completely.
I told you that these two are Libres.
As it would be.
I told you that these two are Libres.
In the end, it proved mouth-watering in that second half, did it not?
And a lot of fans around the world are absolutely livid with Thomas Tuchel.
Right.
Which I agree wholeheartedly. Because this is basic coaching. Absolutely basic.
So we should give you we should give you a team to coach?
Oh, give me one. Because what Thomas Tuchel did, I could see a mile away that it was a very foolish thing to do.
You're speaking out of pain.
No. Okay.
Let's speaking out of pain.
No, let me be factual here.
Right.
England got the lead in the 55th minute. Right after the 55th minute, Tuchel started making changes and they started sitting back.
I'm gonna check when the first change was made, right?
And they started sitting back. First real change was 72nd. But before that, they started sitting back. If you watch the game, you realize that everybody literally sat back. And they didn't want to attack anymore.
No, that's why I asked, let me look at when the first change was made.
Mm-hmm.
The first change
if you realized
the first change was made in the 72nd minute,
yes,
when he brought on Ezri Konsa,
yes,
for Anthony Gordon.
Yes.
Before that time, what was happening?
Before that time, right after 55th, when England scored, they all sat back. Everybody sat back.
And you saw the coach instructing them to sit back.
Everybody sat back.
No, I'm asking if you saw the coach instructing them to sit back. I wouldn't see
because I wasn't there. But
we see them on the touchline. I'm just
on the pitch, not on the coach. I wouldn't be able to tell because I wasn't there.
The microphone, you can sit here so that you join the sports.
Mawuena.
This is the only time I'm allowing you
to
be an active participator on the show. If you will not quietly observe the conversation.
So from that 55th to 72nd, we cannot tell whether the coach made the instruction that everybody.
You know the reason why I asked the question?
Why?
Right. You know, football is psychology.
Yes.
Once you go into the lead, automatically the other opponents try to come at you.
Yes.
And that gets you to go back a bit.
Yes.
Until that phase of possession goes away, and then perhaps you begin to model your game around it and try to hit them on the counter, which England tried, and they got Gordon on that about 2 times.
But where your man dropped the ball totally was that Konsa change. Who did he replace? Anthony Gordon.
There was Morgan Rogers still on the pitch.
Come on.
No, I'm saying, if you wanted a pacey person to be doing
the best pacey person in the team was Gordon at the time.
Fair.
At the time, it was Gordon.
Or maybe a Rashford.
Yeah, if you were going to switch, then put a Rashford there and keep Argentina guessing. Because the moment you took Gordon off, that gave Argentina more room to attack with more bodies, because they knew that the person who was going to give them headaches is out of the pitch. Literally. If you want to defend, right? It's basic coaching. If you want to really defend, put a body there who you know can beat them on the counter. So they have to think twice on who to send away to your other side to try and attack you. But Tuchel basically did not do that. That is basic coaching.
I'm hearing you say the coaching handed Argentina victory.
The coaching made it easier.
No.
I'm not disputing the fact that Messi weaved this magic. I'm not. What I'm saying is they made it easier for him to do it. They made it easier for all the Argentine players to actually attack
to bomb forward.
Yes, he made it easier. He could have made it much tougher, much tougher. He decided to bring Rashford after they had gone down by 2-1. That is absolute madness from Thomas Tuchel. And it's shocking because he's a more superior coach than Southgate. You'd actually expect someone like Southgate to do it, but not someone like Thomas Tuchel, who is well known for how he performs in tournament football. Not league football, but tournament football. We know how good he is at tournament football. So that decision he made, I don't know whether it was a brain fart or what, because it was so shocking on his part. Absolutely shocking.
Right.
And that gave Argentina that confidence to attack with a lot more bodies. If you realized, they could now release as many crosses as possible.
He brought Dan Ben to deal with the crosses. Ezri Konsa as well to do that. And
Ezri Konsa to come and remove the only guy who would scare them with counters, Anthony Gordon.
The reason I was making the
even
argument,
West,
right?
even West was taking Rice off. He took Rice off.
3FM.
That was even worse.
2.7.
Because Rice, in front of the defense, can mop up a lot of dangers. But he took him off for an actual defender, which gave Argentina even more room to attack. So that decision making from Tuchel was an absolute brain fart, and I'm sure that the English media are going to go at him like crazy, and he
was seeking to protect that solitary lead they had,
and he absolutely deserves it. I mean, I'm not disputing. Again, I'm not saying that it is wrong to try and protect a lead. It is how you approach your protecting the lead.
Fair, right? I mean, you should have left an outlet,
leave a very fast outlet,
an outlet which has some thinking, right? You can't be on the center line all throughout.
Exactly. It was just simple. It was basic coaching, but he dropped the ball. But anyways, as I told you, as long as Argentina defeats England, they are winning the World Cup. So I am saying it again. No matter what Spain does on Sunday, Argentina is winning the World Cup.
That's a bold one from you.
Yeah, no matter what Spain does, Argentina is winning the World Cup.
But I mean, talk to me about Argentina as well. They've done comebacks after comebacks and struggled to. They've labored. Right? They've labored throughout this knockout phase.
It's a strong mentality, and also it's two sides: strong mentality, and they can be beaten. But a strong mentality supersedes they can be beaten, right? Because teams have gotten close. Cape Verde have, Egypt even more so, England at some point. But the mentality is much stronger. And that is what happens when you've already won the competition in the previous edition. That gives you extra belief that no matter what happens, you can still score, you can still bounce back, and you can still win. That is what winning does to you. Right, and Argentina won 4 years ago, and they have most of the characters who won 4 years ago in this team. So that mentality was always going to be strong. And they'll need a team that has an even stronger mentality to beat them. I'm sorry, but although Spain are very good possessively and all of that.
I mean, we saw you guys write them off completely against France. You're doing the same thing.
Yes, I'll write them off. Because this time they are facing the current.
You're writing them off so that if they win, then you'll be happy. I see what you're doing.
See, no matter what, I'll not be happy. Because if Spain wins, we'd have to deal with Lamine Yamal chatting every single day that he's a world champion. Right? Especially to Real Madrid fans, even though I don't care about them. But Lamine Yamal would start speaking a lot of gibberish that he's a world champion. And if Argentina wins again, Messi has won the second one. So no matter what, it's not going to look good anyway. But I would accept that no matter what Spain does right now, Argentina will win it.
Talk to me about Messi and the magic man that he is. At 39, doing what it is that he's doing. I think in the lead up to the game, a lot of the conversations, particularly from ex-players, was that we don't fear Argentina, we're going to beat them. How do you take care of Messi? He's not faced us before. He could be past it, and what have you. This is the hallmark of true greatness, is it not?
Oh, at this point, he's moved ahead of Maradona in the Argentine team. When it comes to reverence, when it comes to achievements, when it comes to everything. And for someone at that age, he's found a way to make himself efficient without making his deficiencies actually well pronounced. So right now he can't run as much, so he walks all over the pitch. But everybody knows that when you give him the ball, you have to pray that he misplaces a pass or he misplaces a cross, else you are in trouble. And that is what we saw Lionel Messi do. That cross with his weaker foot, absolutely
pinpoint accuracy,
absolutely magic, absolutely beautiful. And I have to admit, he is great, no doubt about it.
I'm not interested in having you call him the greatest ever, because
I will not call him that.
No, that's the point I'm making. I'm not interested in having you do that, because we don't need that from you.
Yeah, because you do it already. So
no, I'm not saying like we don't need it from you. They are
you are not supposed to need it from me.
World-acclaimed persons.
Yeah, you're not supposed to need it from you.
Gold Lord Sami Jemfi yesterday was posted on Twitter.
It will never come. It will never come from me.
No, that's the point I'm making. As much as we're doing analysis, and when we put biases aside, we can talk football. You know, I will talk football. You talk football. So yes, I'm just saying that I don't need you to come and say he's the greatest ever. No, that's not important. I'm just talking about the man Messi, the magic he weaved on the pitch. And you've said you expect them to go all out and win.
They'll win.
That third place game on Saturday as well, there's a lot of sting out of it. A very deflated French team as against a very disappointed English team. Going all out. I'm not even sure they'll go all out. Sometimes they'll just allow persons who've not been able to play some of the tournaments.
I feel it would have been a more pronounced, a much bigger game if it was Argentina who were rather going to play the third place. Because basically Mbappe would have seen that Messi is coming, so he will play. Even if he has a nickel, he will tell Deschamps, let me play. I need that golden boot. Right? But I feel that this particular third and fourth, it will be a lot of rotations. Sheki might even start. Sheki, who hasn't played as many minutes in the tournament, might even see Kante start the game.
I expect him to start. I expect him to feature in that game.
I will see.
But to say Mbappe will not want to play to secure the golden boot is being very charitable. He will play. He will want to secure the golden boot.
I'll be shocked because I feel Mbappe's main objective in this tournament was to win the World Cup. Golden Boot is received.
Yeah, because he needed that to push his Ballon d'Or conversation. Huh?
The Golden Boot is not going to do anything to his Ballon d'Or push because it's not going to work anyway. So there's no real.
The Golden Ball has been secured, by the way.
Oh, by Lionel Messi, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That makes it 3, huh?
It's fine.
That makes it. You'll be the first.
Yes, Messi will need both the Golden Ball and the World Cup to have a Ballon d'Or conversation. Mbappe needed just the World Cup to have it, because we all know that Real Madrid would have pushed him to the limits.
But if Jude were in the final as well, then perhaps the conversation would have been Jude, right? Yeah. Because the Ballon d'Or conversation, who becomes the best?
Yeah, it would have been Jude.
Possibly could have been Jude, because he's had a very good tournament as well in terms of racking up the goals and all of that. But in terms of total football, dribbles, goals, assists, and being the moment's person, I don't think there's a debate now who the best player at the tournament will be. I would have said Rodri.
No, Messi will take it.
That's why I said I would have said Rodri, because he's been masterful as well in this tournament, controlling the midfield. It almost tells you that you don't have to necessarily always score to influence a game and to be very good at it. which is something that you can't agree with me on in terms of the general general outlook. Yeah, because my money, possibly if England had beaten Argentina, I would have said Rodri. Yes, I know people will say lots of shout as well to Jude Bellingham and the fact that he's led England's champion, but I just feel that, I mean, sometimes it goes just beyond the goals, because if you strip Jude off the goals, really,
there's not much you can get.
There really isn't much in sincerity. Yeah. If you strip him off the goals at this tournament, and if you do same as well, Mbappe has been influential in certain areas, right?
Yeah,
he's been able to
even without the goals.
Yes. Yeah. But if you strip Jude off the goals, there really wasn't much. I saw Kane drop deep in that game yesterday and spray a number of passes towards the right side. That is generating football.
But with the Kane thing, I also feel that is nonsensical. Why is someone who is devastating with his finishing dropping deep into
because the
position?
Ball was not coming.
I mean, there's a way that then it's also on Tuchel. That's also on Tuchel.
You know, one thing that I will criticize him for greatly.
Yes.
Is his failure to have taken Cole Palmer to this World Cup.
92.
Okay, that is fair.
Look,
but Cole Palmer didn't have a good season, though. He didn't.
Yes.
To be fair,
he didn't have a good season, right? But
so I understand that.
I'm saying that in fairness, you could give it to him, but when you look at that England team yesterday, and for a number of the games that they've played, when you needed someone who would do this, give me the ball, I will find a pass, I will thread a pass through. If you look at the 26-man squad he took, he didn't have one individual who could do that.
One player like
That's why Kane would have to drop deep to be able to do. Kane could do that, but you need him in the box,
he's
scoring the goals.
Better as a finisher.
That is why, in terms of the entire dynamics of everything that he went with, I think because Ivan Toney only featured yesterday, and I doubt if he had 3 or 5 touches.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer in that team yesterday, particularly, or in other games, because yesterday they dropped deep wanting to protect the lead. But in other games where they have needed extra. Yeah. Because, look, Messi yesterday, that's why I said it was more,
moments.
He brought in...
He picked moments.
Look, a number of the crosses were so wickedly delicious. Like, he was just crossing the ball in. Yes, he knew the English were taller, they would head the ball out, but there was such confidence in the fact that the cross will find an Argentine. And in more instances than not, it found an Argentine. You needed someone like that on the other side because the English were taller and because their crosses were not great.
Yeah.
Were not.
Yeah.
On the day. And I mean it's
and also I mean you talked about Cole Palmer. I don't understand why he didn't take Trent. Especially when he knew that Reece James was never fit, and he has never been fit in his life.
The Trent conversation has always been dicey. Fair, he should have taken him. I actually agree with you because
should have taken Trent.
He's not your best bet
for defending. But creating, he's one of.
But he's one of your very because imagine in games where it was tight.
Yep.
You had Trent, you had Palmer.
Yeah.
That gives you options to unlock a defense.
Yeah.
But I mean it's great for us. Great for me who is a Messi fan. And you see, in all of our conversations, and let me do small agenda, you've admitted everything which we say is a reason why Messi is better than Ronaldo. In genuineness, you've actually admitted on all fronts that you generate football. When you're not scoring, you're dictating play. Yet you see all of this and you decide to blaspheme and engage in hopeless propaganda.
CR7 for life.
Hopeless propaganda.
CR7 for life.
Anyways, I mean, it's been great chatting. Tomorrow, I'm sure we'll do a bit more in terms of preview for that third and fourth place game, and then we'll look ahead at the finals as well. But I was telling Mutala that the Ronaldo debates, or the whatever you people call it, Sport Ultra, invite me and I'll come and finish all of you one of line up after the line up like 10 after the line up like 10 Ronaldo fans. We'll come and destroy all because you see there is no argument. And we've gone beyond the good conversation. We are in a stratosphere completely different from the rest of you. I'm glad that in our conversation today, you've affirmed the things which make Messi far superior than Ronaldo, and that is, I mean, fair enough. You own a little something. No, maybe in Kasao, Phil, why are you seated behind? You are just talking. Come and say what you want to say.
Come and say what you want to say. Allow him to do what he wants.
Because there is nothing you can say which surpasses the truth. And Messi is the truth. Finito. Thank you very much, Billy Shen, for doing sports with us.
You ready? Here we are.
Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Circles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Circles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Circles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live screening of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the
protection of Ghana's forests. What's your immediate reaction, or what was your immediate reaction when government announced the restoration of the forests to its reserve status?
Well, I would say that we're very pleased when we heard that one of the campaign issues that not just eco-conscious citizens, Arocha Ghana, others, even the Forestry Commission itself was brave enough to add its voice. We're very pleased that Executive Instrument EI 144, which was passed in 2022, we're very pleased that it has been revoked, which means that about 361 acres, which were removed from the forest reserve, have been brought back to the forest. That's what it means. But let's remember that without EI 144, a lot of the forest had already been encroached. What EI 144 did was faithful, encroachment, in the sense that the state was releasing more acres of land to allegedly their own family, who they claimed had not been compensated when the land was compulsory acquired from them. So we're very pleased. We're very pleased. But it's only one of many other campaign issues.
And it brings me to the question whether this is a complete victory for environmental campaigners as they demanded, or it is only the beginning of a more difficult recovery process.
Well, I think it's a victory. It's a victory. We have to acknowledge every victory. So we thank God. We are grateful that EI 144 has been revoked. It was not a very good piece of legislation, and we're happy it's been revoked. Having said that, we know that the 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. So this is one step. There's so much more that needs to be done. For example, we are also asking for Etiwa Forest Reserve to be made a national park so that it's afforded more protection. As you know, illegal miners are in Etiwa Forest Reserve. The once pristine forest is no longer pristine, and it's a globally significant biodiversity area. Three rivers take their source from Atiwa Forest Reserve, and it's a source of drinking water to over 5 million Ghanaians. So we are planning on Atiwa Forest Reserve becoming a national park. So the campaign issues are many. We are campaigning for Forestry Commission to be better equipped. Their guards are not well equipped. They don't bulletproof vests. So when they are patrolling the forest and they have armed illegal miners, armed poachers, sometimes they are shot. Our information tells us that at least one forest guard has been shot and killed by a poacher. So there's a lot that needs to be done. NAMOS needs to be better resourced. They have to have speedboats, for example, so they can pursue those on the chart. I mean, there's so much that needs to be done. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't commend one thing that has been done. We're happy that LI 2462 was revoked. We are happy that EI 144 has been revoked. But that doesn't mean that there's not much more to be done. Much more needs to be done if we are going to rescue Ghana from the verge of an ecological catastrophe.
While we're looking at the other things that we need to do as a country, what happens to the leases, the subleases, and other interests that may have been created while portions of the forest were outside the reserve, according to the previous EIs?
No. When Achimota Forest was made a forest reserve, there was a huge area of land that was part of the forest reserve. Over the years, there have been encroachment, while the duty bearers have just watched. There's been encroachment. And then the government itself passed EI 144, which formally took out part of the forest from the forest reserve. So that is what has happened. So the encroachment has been going on. Your developers see prime land, and they just decide they are going to encroach, and sometimes there's complicity with those who should know better. This is what has taken place. So what EI 144 has done is that area, 360 odd acres, which has been removed from the forest reserve, have been brought back to the forest reserve. So now we have to be very clear. We know that an official from the Forestry Commission, in his will parts of Achimota Forest to beneficiaries. We have to make sure that purported provision in his will is null and void. You cannot will what does not belong to you. And Achimota Forest was not to be willed to any individual. So these are the things that have to be looked at. Those who have encroached in the forest reserve, taking the right robust action to make sure that in future people do not encroach, whether on our forest reserves or our Ramsar sites or what have you.
Awula, thank you, but please stay on the line for me and let me speak with Daryl Bosu, who is Deputy National Coordinator for Arocha Ghana. Mr. Bosu, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you as well, and I'm really happy to be here.
Arocha Ghana has consistently opposed their declassification of portions of the forest. What does this reversal mean to you and your organization?
Thank you. I think that we actually yesterday were very excited by the news. I know this decision was taken somewhere 24th June, but I guess it was a good time to talk about it yesterday. And it's every Ghanaian needs to be excited about this because it's a decision that is bold enough to guarantee not only people in Accra today, but also generations of Ghanaians who live in Accra. And the reason is that the forest, as we've been talking about, the Achimota forest, provides very significant benefits to us. I'm sure Awolasewa has highlighted a number of them, talking about the climate amelioration services, controlling and cooling the Accra environment, the biodiversity in Accra that is almost lost, thrives there, whatever is remaining thrives there, and also its water retention and also checking surface runoff and therefore avoiding the risks of flood in downstream areas like Jawulu, all those areas. And all that. So it's a forest that is very, very significant. You see, urban forest is critical for our well-being, for our health, for the aesthetic reasons that they provide, also for our mental stability. And the Achimota forest was the only one serving for that purpose. So to see a government that is supposed to protect the interests of the people, the interests of the public, somewhere in 2022, decide that, look, let's convert this magnificent forest, providing all of these services, to other land uses, and which we know is going to be a concrete development or something else, was really not judicious and prudent use of a resource that is benefiting everyone. So I think seeing the revocation, the decision by cabinet and government's own decision to take this bold decision for us is really, really good news and must be commended. And I think a lot has been said already that the president has done well. And for us, the fact that he's also thinking about the intergenerational benefit of this whole exercise is important. I think what we need to do, as Awula said, is how we can guarantee beyond this regime long-term security for this. I'm afraid that the government that decided to give portions of it, maybe when they get an opportunity to come to power, might decide to pursue the same agenda. And this is where we as citizens need to ensure that that doesn't happen. We need to provide all the support we can for the Forestry Commission. We need to ensure that the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority adequately integrates that into Ghana's and Accra's own integrated land use system, and the assemblies are actually taking steps to protect it. We shouldn't leave the executive to choose to decide what they do with our forests. I think it's about time we really start standing up for some of these things. And that's why I am strongly in support of the constitutional reviews and recommendations that are coming up in terms of the state, everything being vested in the people, and the fiduciary duty of public officers. I think it's I'm saying is that, look, this is good. The government has been bold, and we need to do whatever we can to make sure that this stays there forever, instead of being given to somebody as a will, rather forever.
And Daryl, still on you, while the former EI, or the now changed one, I'm talking about EI 144, was in place, and the effect that it had on the forest, ecologically, what condition is the forest currently in, although legally the forest may be restored?
Well, I think it is a very good question, because the forest, as you know, is within the Accra vegetation zone, which is more of a shrubland, and also you don't see very tall trees in these areas. But yet still is very, very important. And because of a lot of the interest occasioned by EI 144, the Forestry Commission came under very serious pressure from people who were trying to implement or effect the interest given to them. So most of them went to the site trying to demarcate areas, even some trying to clear areas. At the same time also, there are all of these religious groups who go in from time to time, creating several pathways in there, and even littering the place significantly. So I think that with this decision, it's definitely going to mean that all those who had interest are no longer going to be able to pursue whatever they intended. But the state of the forest, I think, is still of a standard that at the level where it is, a shrubland ecosystem, what it's doing right now, it's okay. But I think the Forestry Commission has also started some restoration activities, and this needs to continue. to return the entirety of the whole area to a very good forest stand, then it can even provide more beneficial service. So there's still some work to do. The Forestry Commission has for some time now been embarking on restoration activities and all of that. There are still gaps, and this is where I know that the Forestry Commission now will take full authority and see how they support the restoration of all the degraded areas within the area. I think the other concern we need to also pay attention to is all the encroachments and settlements on the fringes. That is also posing a risk to the ecological integrity of the area. So I believe, given the full authority by the revocation of EI 144, the Forestry Commission will do what is needful. And I know the leadership is very, very committed to this, and they will actively active advocate of even compelling their board to send a letter to the presidency to get this done. So I think it's very good to see this proactiveness from the Forestry Commission itself, and we as civil society will rally behind them to ensure that the area is restored to its entire capacity to provide the services that we need.
And Daryl, I'll get back to you, but let me speak to Aula Sewa now. Aula, so we're talking about restoration here beyond what has been made legally available to us. As we attempt to restore, what happens to developers who may have already started something along the areas, and who is paying for the restoration? The state, the developers, previous beneficiaries, or all of them? What happens?
Well, what should happen is that any area that activities are taking place which are inconsistent with what should happen in the forest reserve, it has to be removed. And if there are buildings there, they need to be removed. I thank my brother Daryl because he has said all that needs to be said. As always, he doesn't disappoint. So, referring to a specific question you asked me, we need to look at the forest reserve, the purpose of the forest reserve, and if there are any development there that shouldn't be there, it should be those who put it there who should pay for the cost of its removal.
I see. I don't know whether, Daryl, you'd want to add any more before we enter into the Galamsey proper conversation.
Yes, I think already, like I said, there is already initiative by the Forestry Commission, and that the government through the Tree for Life initiative is already investing in some tree planting activities within the Achimota forest. I mean, civil society as well is going to look for opportunities to support the process. I think we have already initiated some engagement with them as well to see how we can contribute to that restoration exercise. But I think in the long run, the Commission would have to look at a very innovative way to keep the forest intact, while also opening it up to public use, where also other services that can be paid for could also guarantee some opportunity for revenue to support. But what is important at the moment is that this should remain a public space available to citizens to be able to freely benefit from it. But where the state can also get some revenue here and there, they shouldn't miss the opportunity in doing that. So I think together, both with public funding, with some funding from elsewhere, private entity support and all of that, I think this is the opportunity most of them can step up and contribute to really restoring the green belt and green forest patches that are left in the city of Accra.
And yesterday, while the minister was speaking, he also touched on cabinet approving mining law overhauls, touting gains across the sectors. Amongst the things that the minister said, Daryl, is when it comes to Act 703, which had been in force for 2 decades, he says it has been reviewed, and that followed stakeholder consultations. Now, the revised bill introduced district mining committees as the entry point for licensing. It also created a new medium-scale mining category, and then it abolished the recognizance license in favor of a single prospecting license capped at 5 years. From where you sit as a civil society organization in the sector, is this what you were looking for, or there's more to this that we don't know?
Great question. So I think that we have been part of engagement processes to get this Act 703 reviewed, to ensure that all the various, provisions that do not adhere or are inimical to ensuring safeguards for communities, and also ensuring benefit sharing, appropriate benefit sharing, allocation of leases, and also shared prosperity is all reviewed. And I think that what you're talking about, I think there's more to it, and we are yet to get the full complement of the document that has been approved by Cabinet. Because even as it goes to Parliament, we need to have the opportunity as civil society to get to see the draft that Cabinet has approved. And if there are still any opportunities to engage on certain provisions, is very, very crucial. Now, the point on district committees, I think it's a very relevant point. But you see, I think we need to take it from the fact that mining is a very destructive activity. And the way in present time, Ghanaians see mining as the only solution to empowerment, for me, which is unfortunate though, we also reach the situation where, just like community mining, you decentralize the decision-making to the district level, and then they're also thinking that mining is the only opportunity. They stop thinking about innovative, sustainable development pathways and only focus on mining. I say this because we did some engagements in some of the districts and in parts of the eastern region and also in parts of the north, where we realized that even though the Land and Spatial Planning Authority did specify what we call integrated land use planning, where every district must integrate and take care of watersheds, forest reserves, and all of that. When planning is done, there's always the focus on just the settlement, leaving out all the green spaces to be destroyed by other activities. That is how come we saw mining coming, and immediately all the rivers and forest patches in districts, in most districts, were destroyed. And this is the risk we face if we decide that let the decision on mining be taken at the district level. Yes, it's an opportunity to put together the integrated land use plan and any mining interest, but there's also a risk that depending on who is on the committee, they are actually going to more advocate and prioritize mining interest than any other interest. And this is where I think that we need to pay attention to who is on the committee. There's been many instances where anytime they are talking about district committees for purposes like this, the state focuses on putting in or more or less nominating persons who are already in the same institutions that are not allowed for sustainable use of our mineral resources to sit on the same committees and also to decide what needs to be done going forward. And most of the time also you have some party constituency chairpersons and all of that, assemblymen and all of that, eventually excluding the rights of community people to indicate and say that, look, we do not agree to a decision here, we do not agree to you money in this particular area, or sometimes overriding an integrated land use plan of the district. So it's a very interesting concept. We need to look at it, we need to review it, and I hope we get the opportunity to look at that. Then in terms of exploration, I think it's a very significant decision because we've had a situation where people can renew their exploration license for several years. They get an exploration license, it expires, they go for it again, and they continue. And somebody can be in an area and do exploration for more than 12 years, which is definitely not sustainable. That is already a lot of investment, and maybe for all you know, most people, when they claim they're doing exploration, they go in there actually to mine. So I think that it's good that for this particular policy, the government has decided to cap it, and beyond that, you cannot continue. So I think it's a very good decision. But I think in all of this, I think what has been our biggest problem so far has been, it's not about the mining, it's not about mining itself. Nobody in Ghana is against mining. But I think the reason that has occasioned the need to review Act 703 has been the fact that despite the boom in mining, we are not seeing commensurate protection and safeguards for our forest reserves, for community lands, for our farmlands, and for our water bodies. And that is why, if there's any expectation we're expecting of this review, is that we need to see the law or the new laws completely exclude mining in forest reserves. We also need to see the new law also look at giving exclusion zones and also safeguards for water bodies across the country. The current law really allows for mining companies to decide and make use of water bodies without the interest and also, I'll say, consent of community people. For as long as the mining lease has been granted and the water resources have granted the permit to use the water, the company can go ahead and do what they want, even at the detriment of the community. So at the end of the day, we are left with communities being provided with boreholes instead of they being able to access water from the natural streams that they are used to. So I think these are for us the fundamental issues. And then also the issues of how mining businesses and enterprises treat host communities. Issues of business and human rights, these are very critical to this discussion that we are having. And this is something that we need to pay attention to. I believe that there are several other components of the review that will come out, and we are going to take the opportunity. We have already asked for copies of this approved version that Cabinet has released to Parliament to discuss, so that we can also effectively engage with Parliament and the government and the Minerals Commission to ensure that the right recommendations and revisions are done. That can guarantee safeguards for all and shared prosperity for all if mining is going to be a key integral revenue source for Ghana's economy.
Daryl, thank you. Please stay on the line for me. Let me come back to you, Awula Sewa. Based on the concerns that Daryl has shared with us this morning, but let's pick it from the advantages we're seeing. My first question to you was that, as a civil society organization, is this enough for you? And while at that, put this together too. Based on what we're seeing, that seems like a good step. These things seem like good steps. Are there openings or avenues that make it possible that this can be exploited in the wrong way?
Of course. This is always the case. And I'd like to say that I subscribe to what my brother Daryl has said, but I want to focus on the right community to reject mining if they believe that it's in their best interest. Because whether you like it or not, mining will always cause some destruction. And I'd like to give the example of Jema in the Iowan district, where they do not want any form of mining, whether we call it cooperative mining or community mining. They don't want any form of mining, and they rather want to engage in cooperative farming. You know, there's a green economy which can also bring substantial funds. I think that mining is the only source of income for development. It's not correct. We need to look at what communities also want. So I want to take the example of Jema, where they have said we do not want any form of mining, and that should be it. It should not be a situation where, you know, a board can decide that, notwithstanding the fact that the community doesn't want community mining or want any form of mining, we're going to drum it down their throats. And I'd like to give the example of Atronso as well. For example, the activists who were trying to protect the Atronso stream, trying to protect the environment, were charged. In fact, they are in court tomorrow. But we have been assured by the Attorney General that the charges are going to be dropped after about 2 years or so. And hopefully we'll hear in court tomorrow that the charges have been dropped. They also said they did not want any farm in their environment. They are cocoa farmers predominantly, and they have the Nana Atronso stream, which is the only source of drinking water in the area. It used to be pristine, but with illegal mining, it's no longer as pristine as it used to be. So what I'm saying is that you have to hold the right of communities to reject any form of mining as amount, because they are the ones who are going to be directly affected, although it affects us all in the long run, and that needs to be respected.
I see. Now to the earlier question on whether this is enough, the advantages we're seeing. I mean, the mining law reforms, are they enough in the perspective or the opinion of the civil society organizations?
My concern has always been enforcement. Yes, I mean, the thing, as Brother Zara has said, we need to see the full draft. We've only seen excerpts of it, so we don't really know what it actually said. But at the end of the day, it comes back to enforcement. For example, as the current law stands, there are certain things that cannot be done, but they are being done. And who is enforcing? Who is making sure that the proper thing is done? So my concern has always been that, yes, it's great to tighten things, it's great to add this, great to add that, but ultimately, if we're not going to enforce, not much is going to be achieved. And this is what concerns me. We, for example, eco-conscious citizens, were asking for a pause in the grant of small-scale licenses because we could see that they were being granted like confetti. And as they were being granted, there were not systems in place, resources in place for the duty bearer to be checking For example, you have a mining license to mine in spot A, you're actually mining in spot A and not in spot B. If there are conditions you need to meet, you have met all of them. That wasn't really being enforced. So you have a situation, for example, in Atronsu, where somebody is brandishing a mining license, but he hasn't got any permit from the EPA. So he's not supposed to start work, but has started work. And police don't even know that you're not supposed to start operations when you have not got the permit from the EPA. So that is the source of concern we have.
And I'll get back to you, but let me take your final words on this, Daryl, and I'll ask in relation to reclamation efforts, because the minister also spoke about it, about how 1,535 acres of degraded land in the Ashanti region alone had been restored, and that was done in partnership with the private sector. Beyond the Ashanti region and other regions also impacted by illegal mining and other unsafe environmental practices, if we're talking about reclamation, are we doing enough to reclaim? And then while we reclaim, what are the efforts to restore? Because that's also a very critical leg of the conversation. If we reclaim and we don't restore, then we seem not to be doing all that we need to do.
I think you raise a good point, and I always say that our ability to restore the land after mining starts right from the beginning of even lease granting. We have unfortunately missed the opportunity with over a decade of irresponsible mining across various communities in the country. And what the government is doing now, for me, is just a tip of the iceberg. If you travel in parts of the country, eastern region, go to the Wasa, Ekropon areas, all those areas, to other parts of the Ashanti region, and you see the damage to the land and even to water. What the government is doing is, for me, just, small pilots, because it does not really reflect or give solution to the gap and what needs to be done in terms of resourcing our ability to do restoration. What should have been done right from the word go was that the mining company should have been taxed with the responsibility to pay for the damage they caused. That opportunity we missed. Right now, what we would need is a philanthropist, and like already has been done, private sector can do that, but they really need to put in more. Private sector can support us greatly, but you see, there's always a stage where private sector can support you. And then we need also a philanthropist, and one that's, unfortunately, I think some of the, even the support we are getting, there's a World Bank project that has part loan, part grant, that is allowing us to do some of these restoration activities also in some of the degraded forests. So we realize that it is really eventually a cost to the public. The truth we should all get to know and acknowledge is that, look, it's already too expensive. We don't have the resources to do it, but somebody must do it. Otherwise, the public suffers. And this is why the government is doing what it can. But it's not just a tip of the iceberg. And I'm afraid to say that until we get somebody who is really ready to bankroll this exercise, until we're able to go to the various companies that were working in these areas and resulted in the destruction that we have seen, and ask them to pay back for the destruction, we are not going to be able to cover any significant portion of Ghana in terms of the restoration that we are doing. We can only do our best. But that best, that's whatever we do will not be significant at all and will not be enough. There's more to do. This is just the land. We have not even talked about the restoration of our water body. So, my brother, I think the harm that we have done to ourselves as a country is so enormous, so huge that I don't know how our present economic circumstances can allow government to publicly fund the restoration activity without private sector intervention. And even with the private sector, the truth is they can't do a lot. They can't do a lot. So we need to really live with the reality that we've caused significant injury to ourselves and harm to ourselves. And unless somebody really comes up with a real business innovative model, others I know are trying it out, exploring opportunities to do that. But I think that the state should also create the enabling environment to allow for this process to happen. Then I'm sure citizens can chip in. The other risk we have seen is that while some companies have even tried to restore, the miners are going back and digging up these areas again.
I see.
That is also another risk that we need to pay attention to. I know several other institutions, even ourselves, we've done a lot of restoration activities in parts of the eastern region where we took the great mine site and decided to restore. Whilst you go back and rest, that the trees are really doing good, somebody has gone to clear to do mining again. You go back and they say they had no idea. With signages and everything in place, miners still decide to go and dig these places out. And it's happening in many other places. So I think we really need to sit down as a country, reflect on this particular situation we find ourselves, and come out with a solution. Because whatever the government is doing now is not sufficient enough to deal with what we are confronted with.
And Daryl, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you as well.
I'll give you the final word, Madam Sewa. Anything you want to share with us on the conversation we've had so far, particularly on what we need to do going forward so that we don't lose the gains we have made, but also being careful not to be overly optimistic?
You see, it's a destructive business. And we have to make sure that it's actually cost effective. We have talked about the polluter pays policy. And we found out that lots of people who have had mining licenses and have destroyed our environment are not actually paying for the cost of restoration. And it's interesting that parts of Dodawa Forest, which have been restored, were actually destroyed to make way for traders. But what I want to say is that when we look at the cost of reclamation and restoration, when we look at the cost of restoration, one wonders why we are still issuing licenses like confetti. When we know what, as Darrell has properly described, what we've done to ourselves, why do we continue injuring ourselves? Isn't it time to stop all this issuing of licenses and look at the damage that has been caused and how we actually restore the damaged land? But we keep on doing what has resulted in this situation, because it's not just the illegal miners who have destroyed our country. It's some of those who actually have licenses, that they are acting outside the parameters of their license because nobody is monitoring. As Professor Pimpon said, if you have a mining license, but you go outside the parameters of your license, you are engaged in illegal mining. So I think that we have to actually begin to understand the extent of the damage that has been done to Ghana. Water is life, the poisoning of our water bodies. I think if Ghana Water begins to publish the test and we actually begin to understand the water that we are drinking, the levels of heavy metals in it, maybe we'll begin to realize that not only have we poisoned the environment and the water for ourselves, but also for coming generations. And I'm saying that we must take stock, stop issuing licenses like confetti, go to the drawing room and see how we can actually do serious restoration, because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Ulasewa, thank you so much for your time with us on the program. We're grateful.
Thank you.
Ulasewa is co-coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens. Also was Daryl Bosu of Arocha, Ghana, speaking with us there.
Because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Point is simple, that we are doing something. Congratulations to us, but we should not you understand, because like Daryl said, we have spoiled ourselves so much that the journey we have to embark on to come back is no small feat. While we congratulate ourselves on the small gains, good, we should not lose sight of the journey ahead of us. Even the lands, we have not finished reclaiming them. When we finish reclaiming them, we have to talk about restoring them. The forests, some are still Galamsey forests, orange zones. We say that we don't have red zones and all. Some are still Galamsey forests. Miners are still in there. We have not finished dealing with that. The water bodies have also not come. The communities that are suffering as a result of illegal mining, all of this has not come. We are doing well, but there's more to be done.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, without a shadow of doubt, some progress has been made, right? Considerably, some progress has been made. But in the end, it is also important that as we make progress, we work to avoid destroying that which still exists, because already it is capital intensive to recover. Very, very capital intensive to recover. We've been told how much it will cost to reclaim lands. EPA was telling us how to treat chemical-laden rivers. When they went to do $80 million or what for a kilometer. No, I'm sure, Crosby, if you check, you see very expensive, right? And so, even as we talk, videos like the one we saw this morning from Umasha Cross suggest that as it is costing us more to recover that which has been destroyed, we should be also very wary that more is not destroyed. There's a saying Crosby has been saying in Chile, and that's
the point that was also
that which is destroyed is gone. Protect the ones that are there, so that we will not be having a conversation, because the money is not somewhere to go and pick and come and be treating water. You found a figure, right?
$400 million
for one small stretch of river.
This is the Ancobra River alone, 400 million.
Right?
Ancobra.
Yes, Ancobra River, 400 million.
Add that to the many others.
We added Tonga.
We need in excess of $6 billion to fix drainage and stop flooding. You know, the problems, they are in different. I was having a conversation with somebody. I was asking, like, how do like persons in how are they tackling the?
How do they navigate?
Yeah, because the challenges are hydra-headed and they are big.
Yeah. They grew in size over the last 8 years.
You understand? They are big. Flooding, $6 billion.
Yeah.
And Cobra alone, $400 million. Add the others, that's in excess of $1 billion. Add which other problem do we see? Waste management. Add waste management and how much it will cost us, because we don't have landfill sites as we speak.
Transportation.
Add transportation. The need to fix roads. The need to healthcare. Agenda 111. We need over $1 billion to finish what we have started. Otherwise, the money we pumped in has gone to waste. Education. There are still schools under trees. Food security. Do you understand? So it is
hydra-headed.
Exactly.
Like that's nice.
Problems in different.
Head of Medusa.
I tell you.
Yeah. Problems in different sectors which cost lots of money. We are talking about one. Galamsey. This $400 million is just treating
the Ancobra River.
Ancobra River.
Yeah.
How much it costs to reclaim land and to see mercury, cyanide, and all of that out of there.
We are spending all this, and we are not seeing any strong prosecutions and convictions. And that's why
the prosecutions and convictions. I think they mentioned 298 had been so this year alone. They've arrested 298 persons who are before courts. And the minister said that yesterday.
You see, it's the underdogs that suffer. The kingpins get away with it. You see, and that's why, as much as we appreciate what the minister is doing, he's equally aware that Galamsey has not stopped.
Yeah.
He's equally aware that a lot more needs to be done. We are thankful there was a swap in Naimo's leadership. So it's good the previous
leadership, right?
Leadership was changed, and there's a new leadership. But I still stand by my word that it's just a cosmetic intervention. It's a cosmetic intervention. You can't polish on debt and expect it to be, picture perfect. Exactly. I keep wondering what our armed forces are doing. I keep wondering why we haven't deployed them to just solve this problem once and for all. Is it a lack of political will?
That's the only reason why. Because they have the ability to, they have the capacity to, and they have told us they will be able to do it.
If we cannot deal with Galamsey, imagine if an external aggressor
that one will be political will.
If an external aggressor decide, yes, because if you cannot solve Galamsey, if we cannot deal with the Galamsey crisis, the Galamsey inhumanity, if we cannot, then we are at the mercy of an external aggressor. Because when an external aggressor shows up,
this is the only thing is these days there is less wars, but even for the armed forces, it's to an extent we've heard stories about the benefits on the ground when you are going to fight Galamsey. I'm not the one saying it.
Yes,
benefits on the ground,
of course.
You understand?
So we hear that these days some of them are eager to be deployed.
Exactly.
Yes.
All of those things make it difficult to see.
So one time I was telling a friend that, you see, sometimes when I hear a lot of we the younger ones say, and Ghana, we need a military rule, we need I'm like, what's that? I want money in the course of Ghana Armed Forces.
Anyways, let's leave them. So I was talking to somebody, and the person pointed me to a certain direction of an area, an estate, and then asked that I should go and find out which people have purchased or have bought those houses. The person is able to draw a link between the owners of the facilities of the properties and how they acquired those properties, because he says they were part of the people who were deployed to the various areas in relation to the subject we're talking about. And after a few years, they mass up a lot of money, and then that's their form of investment. So it's possible. It's a difficult conversation to have. And like Mawuena is saying, it is also very double hydra-headed. But of course, we'll have to...
Crosby, it's not a difficult conversation to have, except that, you see, when we sit on radio, we have to observe some decorum. That's why I like to write about these things.
Nobody...
Yes. That way, nobody comes asking you. Yeah, but it's unfortunate. Like... I like the music you were playing before
you brought us in.
Yes, you brought us in. Maybe you should.
Anyways, let's play Egbeta.
Live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football, it's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football, it's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football, it's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football, it's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's modern football, it's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is Nexus 9 Lounge and Spaces, East Legon. Play and connect. Play, connect, and create. Don't hear about it. Be there. Content creators and football lovers, are you ready? Creator Cycles is back with Play and Connect 3.0, the Creator Cup Jersey Edition. Get ready for an unforgettable afternoon where football passion meets content creation. Rock your favorite football jersey, challenge your friends in a PlayStation battle, enjoy arcade games, creator collaborations, amazing content creation, and the live streaming of the FIFA World Cup final on a giant screen. It's more than football. It's networking, fun, and unforgettable vibes. Hey, 19 July 2026. Time is 3 p.m. Location is...
Thank you. Yeah. There is a league table.
Yes.
For local assemblies. What is it?
Yes, that's the Public Financial Management Compliance League table.
What does it mean?
Basically, to improve upon the PFM compliance of MMDAs within Ghana.
So how MMDAs, Municipal Metropolitan Assemblies,
complying to Ghana's PFM laws and regulations.
Public Financial Management laws and regulations. Okay.
Yes, now what it entails is, for the PFM compliance league table, we are looking about the 5 thematic areas for public financial management, which starts with planning, that's development planning, composite budgeting, procurement and contracting, accounting and reporting, and then the last one being auditing, internal and external auditing.
So these are the areas you base the rankings on. Okay.
Yes. For planning, for emphasis of those listening to us, basically, the Assembly has their medium-term development plans that they develop every 4 years. And before they develop these plans, they need to get in touch with citizens, know their needs, and then prioritize their needs. And then each year, out of the MTDPs, they develop their annual action plans that they propose to implement within a particular year.
Okay.
And then once you know that maybe you are in need of a school for a particular district, a hospital, sanitation issues and other things, you need to cost these items. That's when the composite budgeting comes in. Yes, and then once you know how much each of these items will cost, and then you need to procure the services of contractors or purchase certain inputs. That's when the procurement and the contracting, the processes that you use to procure these things and award contracts are
how
also
transparent it was and all of that. Okay.
Are also assessed. And then once you've spent the money, you need to account for it and a report on what you use the money for. That's when the accounting and reporting comes in.
Okay.
And then we have the auditing side. Internal auditors are with the MMDAs. They assess the MMDA activities, draw their attention to risks, and then come out with their recommendations. And the MMDAs are supposed to implement these recommendations from the internal auditors before the external auditors come in. That's when they issue with their external auditors report or Attorney General's report for MMDAs. Basically, this is how the cycle is, and this is how we assess the MMDAs on. We have specific questions under each of the thematic areas that we assess the MMDAs on before we came out with this score.
The results. Okay, so the distinction I want us to make here is that this is not simply based on whether residents had good roads, improved sanitation, good water, and all of that. This primarily measured whether assemblies followed required rules to do what they have to do as assemblies.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then one may ask, how does this then concern us as citizens?
The impact.
Well, better planning means projects are being prioritized very well for you.
Okay.
Better budgeting ensures that resources are allocated effectively. Better procurement means there's assurance that there will be value for money. And then better accounting and reporting ensures transparency. Better auditing reduces mismanagement or misuse of public funds and corruption. This all helps us as citizens.
So we feel a certain impact. If all of these go well, then it means that the MMDA will have a certain improved living condition or living standard. Okay.
Yes.
So from the ranking, which MMDA is first?
That's Bia East. Yeah, Western North.
Bia East is first.
Yes. Bia East. I think they performed very well. But comparing that to the 2024 assessment, 170 yes. And what we do as part of this is to identify weaknesses and then gaps.
We'll get there.
District assemblies.
We'll get there. So,
okay, all right.
Bia East is the best performing assembly.
Yes.
In Ghana.
In the 2025 assessment.
In the 2025 assessment, based on the parameters that you've spoken to us. What made them first? They met all the standards. What made them get the mark?
To a large extent, they met majority of the indicators that we set out, meaning they are PFM compliant in planning, budgeting, procurement, accounting and reporting, and then audit. In fact, the latest published Auditor General's report didn't cite them for any infraction or irregularities at all.
The 2025 Auditor General's report?
The current one.
So they are managing...
There was no infraction from Bia East.
Yes.
I see.
Who is the district chief executive? I think we have to give him shouts if...
Yes.
So it means they are managing their finances well, they are budgeting well, procuring well, auditing their accounts well, and then also planning better for the people there. But, yes, Mawuena.
I think Nkwanta South also deserves a bit of a mention. They were last in 2024.
And then the reason being that in 2024...
Because Nkwanta South is second in the 2025 ranking.
Yes,
right?
and there's a reason to that. Because in 2024, we assessed 258 out of 261 MMDAs. Nkwanta South, Boku Municipal, and then Akachi South were not assessed because of security concerns and office closures as at the time of assessment. But in the current one, 2025, in their first assessment, they are second nationally.
And for them to, I mean, Bia, you said there was no infraction in the Auditor General.
Same with Nkwanta South.
Same with Nkwanta South as well.
Yes. And with all their security issues and other things, I think they also deserve some commendation for what they've done.
So while you do the assessment, did you go to the areas, the assemblies?
Yes.
And does the findings corroborate the living conditions of the people? Because
that's actually what I was going to ask. Is it reflective on the ground?
Yes. I think what to a large extent, because as part of our methodology and approach, we have trained a field officers who goes to the district assembly to engage them and then gather the necessary documents. And then they may not have maybe met all the expectations of
100%
citizens.
is not possible.
Yes, but to a large extent, I think they are doing really well, and then must be commended for.
Because if we open the phone lines,
I knew he was going to look for it. I knew he was going to go. Me, I'm 97.
Hey,
are you happy or you're surprised?
Wejagbawe is what, 96th?
In fact, they used to be 149.
Oh, okay.
Yes, 149.
So they are performing better now.
And they are where now? Wejagbawe is where now?
96.
They are 36th now.
Okay, 36th.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I comment my reserve.
I mean, the main question, what I wanted to say is that right now, if we open the phone lines and people from Bia East District Assembly decide to call us, are they going to corroborate the findings? Granted that, of course, they don't expect everything to be 100%, but there should be some impact to lend credence to this document that we have.
Yes, very well. Because this assignment basically is looking at the compliance of MMDs to PFM rules and regulations. That is a bit separate from assessing developmental projects itself.
Yeah, but
then it should be
there's a link
together.
Exactly.
Yes, I believe that to a large extent they are doing well. But then you and I also know that as citizens we also have a role to play. They may be PFM compliant, better planning, better budgeting and procurement, but the implementation of the actual projects are what we are supposed to monitor. Once we have technical officers who are monitoring, us as citizens do not also have to just be idle. We need to monitor. I can say that most of citizens that have engaged do not attend town hall meetings. They don't show interest on what is going on within their districts. They don't know their assembly members. They don't care. They are always busy.
Yeah, because it's not like they are busy. They want to care, but if they care, will not reach anywhere, so they stop.
And you see, they're not finding innovative ways to engage them.
You don't expect people to gather in one building right now.
You don't expect me to go and sit at the town hall meeting when typically I have to find myself here.
Exactly.
You know, but if you were finding a more engaging way to engage some of us, like we've seen the likes of Sam George, Okudzeto Ablakwa, the Ashanti region. You know, we've seen the power of technology, the power of social media. So if they were doing that, I think it would help a lot of people to come within the...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then we've left everything also to our assembly members because they are our representatives in our electoral areas. We've left everything. Before they even go for assembly meetings, they are supposed to engage us, know what we want, what we need.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. So what do we want to ask? What do they say during assembly meetings?
Bring money, they can reject it and do
The last on the list for 2025 is Nsawam Adwajiri.
Yes.
Hey, Honorary.
Honorary, according to the Center for Local Governance Advocacy.
Yes.
But they were 82nd last 2 years.
Yes, I know they are not happy. But they were cited in the Auditor General's report.
What did they do wrong?
Infractions. One is they were cited for infractions in the Auditor General's report.
Who is their MP and their...
that's
This one is not for members of parliament. We'll leave him out.
No, I'm just because you see the member of parliament. If you're a member of parliament for an area like this, you should be concerned. You know, you should empower your MCE or DCE to do better. You know, it's very important. I see Gomwa here, Gomwa East. Good morning, Honorable DeGraft Pesho. Gomwa East, you were 87th. You decided to be 91st this time. Is it the Langadism or what is it exactly?
Financial management.
And then Gomwa West. Oh, Gomwa West. I see. They were 1, 2, 3 last year, and that's 2024. And they are 84th this 2025.
You were telling us the things they did wrong, apart from being cited in the Auditor General's report.
Yes, that was 31 marks over there.
Okay, so the Auditor General's report carries
31 marks. That's
so once you're cited,
yes, you lose about 20.
Even if there's an explanation as to perhaps it could be an issue where it could be rectified.
Yes,
right?
and some of them are
rectified before being cited. The rest will come in when they meet the Public Accounts Committee on the discussions.
No, you see, the Auditor General's report, when they meet the committee,
yes,
when they read to them the infraction, they ask for a response from them.
Yes.
And sometimes they say that, okay, this has been done. They'll confirm from the auditors if this has been done, and it appears some of them are being dealt with.
Yeah, that one happens when they issue them with the management letters. Yes.
So if you're cited,
we received the management letters from the district assemblies, and then we check the number of issues raised in the management letters, and then we score you on that. If you are cited, you lose 20 marks, and then implementation of issues raised in the management letters was also carried some marks. So for the external side was 31 marks. Cited, you lose about 20 marks. And then when the issues in your management letters are, we gave a specific number, more than 2 issues, you score 0 over there. And then implementation of issues raised in the management letters. If you fully implement issues raised in your management letters, you definitely will not be cited. Yes. And then we come back to planning. Planning carried 12 marks. And then, yes. And then budget 12, procurement 20, accounting 15, internal audit 10. And then we have series of indicators and then questions that we ask them under each of them. So the accumulation of all these numbers is the scores that you see there. Most of the district assemblies that scored low were because they were cited for a series of infractions and the issues raised in their management letters were not fully implemented.
Which of the assemblies made the most improvement?
I must say, I think Bia East, because coming from 175th to first, and then last in the 2024 assessment, I think Ladade
Kotopon Municipal was first,
and
now it's 98th.
Yes, they were because they were cited.
I see. And Kwando was third. Kwando Municipal Assembly was third.
They were also cited.
Now they are 101.
Yes. If you look at their performance in planning, budget, procurement, accounting, and internal audits, I think they performed relatively well over there. The scores that you see there means that it's the full marks out of 69 for planning, budgeting, procurement, contracts, and procurement and contracts and accounting, and then internal audit. So I don't know if they has over 60 marks over there for Kwando and Ladade Kotopon.
Kwando has 64.50.
That's 64.50 over 69 marks. That should tell you something. And Ladade Kotopon is also around 65.50 over 69. Yes, it's because they were cited in the Auditor General's report, and then they couldn't implement all issues in the management letters. That's how come they lost those marks. If they have done their things very well and not been cited for any infraction or irregularity, I think this year they should have been also in the top 10 again.
Is there a regional breakdown of the findings?
Yes.
As best performing region.
Yes, so Bia East is the best in Western North as it stands.
Okay, we'll get to the individuals, but for the 16 regions, is there like a best performing region like Mawuena?
Yes, OT region.
On
the average,
Bia was in which region?
Western North. Yes, on the average, Bia, I think they stood out. That's how come Western North for the best region doesn't it's not up there.
Bia is an outlier.
Yes, but for the OT region, when you assess the entire
on an average,
yes, they from 30 over a little over 30% shot to a little over 70% as the best performing region. Yes, in the country.
And the worst performing region?
That's Upper West. However, comparing this year to the 2024 assessment, there's been improvement in all the regions. But those who performed better did so at a faster rate.
But how does Gumwa Central District explain 184 to 234? I thought A+ had a very good relationship with his DC and was doing a lot.
The report says people are not managing your money well. You're not following procedure to do what you have to do with the money.
But at the heart of this as well, because this is public financial management and all of that, what does this say? I mean, I know you are in civil society and you are doing the work. What does this say about districts or the local assemblies, rather, right? The responsibility they have towards development and the betterment of the lives of the people vis-a-vis what it is that we're seeing play out in this report. Because I'm sure there are parallels we can draw, there are things we can see and point to in terms of how we run district assemblies and all of that.
Yes, there are our development agents in the various districts, and then as you mentioned earlier, ideally this one should translate into what the outcome will be or the resource that the citizens itself will feel within their various districts. If you go out there and you interview most citizens within their districts, I'm not sure they will be happy with the performance of their district assemblies. They have huge responsibilities, and then they need to make sure that they follow strict guidelines. In fact, for all the areas, for planning itself, we have the oversight institution, that's the NDPC, and then budget has Ministry of Finance, procurement PPA, controller and accountant general department accounting, and then we have the internal audit service and the Ghana audit service. They all have their guidelines that they issue to the MMDAs to follow, and I'm sure that when they do that very well, it should translate in proper management of public funds in the various district assemblies.
In the coming months or in the near future, should we look forward to something that has to do with the impact of whatever they decide to do with the money on the residents in the various assemblies?
Yes, it's something that has come out. We are undertaking town hall meetings as part of our post-lunch activities.
The argument will be that, I mean, whatever you do with the money, I don't care, but let me see the impact.
The impact on it.
If you are, what concerns me as a resident, although the other one should also concern me, that I should say, but what will concern many people is that my roads, are they fixed? Do I have good water connection and all of that? If you're not getting the right contractor and all of that is, but my back is, I want to get the impact readily available.
Yes, as I was saying, one important thing about the post-lunch activities that we are doing is to engage key stakeholders. We've met with the public account chairperson. We are meeting with local government service, the ministry, the institutions that are mentioned that has oversight responsibility over these areas. And then what you've just mentioned are some of the things that we are raising to them, because we believe that if they are able to focus and manage the public funds really well, that's when we start seeing the results on the field.
So the two can never be mutually exclusive.
No,
they will work hand in hand.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. There was a question on my mind, and I'm sure, yes, it had to do with, for the assemblies that you spoke with, did they give reasons why some of the findings you found happened?
Yes. For instance, we asked, they are supposed to undertake 2 town hall meetings within a year.
That carried how many marks?
That's carried, I think, 2 marks.
Okay.
Yes, under both planning and then budget.
Okay.
In the plan process, you need to do that, and then in the budget processing too, you need to do that. But then they cite financial constraints that most of them were unable to do it. Some, instead of the 2, they do only 1. The same way with stakeholder consultation.
Financial constraints tracing to where?
Like having more funds to conduct these town hall meetings and stakeholder engagements.
And were you able to find out if that was really the case, that maybe what is allocated to them has not come, or how did you find out if the reasons they were giving is true? I'm asking that to...
Did they reconcile?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, what we are aware that now the DACF funds that have been given to the district assemblies are about 80%.
I think the last time we were told 90. The releases is up to about 90-95%.
We even played
It's very difficult to understand why they are still citing financial issues and then the rest. But then delving into the financial issues are what the external auditors will do, and then they find out. We are looking at basically the compliance, but we know that it's a must that you are supposed to undertake stakeholder consultations and then town hall meetings. In fact, even under procurement, the Ghana Electronic Procurement System, it was purposely put in place to curb procurement infractions and then the rest. Majority of district assemblies in Ghana are still not using the GANEPS platform. I know that PPA is conducting training for them. Last 2024 assessment came up, and then most of the procurement officers, as you just asked, cited lack of capacity in using the GANEPS platform. They said it was cumbersome and the rest. But then PPA has undertaken some trainings for them, yet they are still not using it. When you engage with some off records, it seems that it's becoming intentional not to use the GANEPS platform.
They just don't want that.
So they use the paper, the old format still to do their procurement.
That's where you can make 3, you can turn 3 into 8.
Your procurement like activities, you see. So there are some of the things you think may be intentional. Others, proper record keeping. You said you've done, you have your annual action plan. We request for records of it. You don't provide it. You cite maybe transfer of the staff who was in charge of that. It's very difficult for them to trace those documents.
The person went with everything.
Yes. So proper record keeping, and then some to intentionally, they don't do it at all. So it varies. And then for internal audit, the internal auditors bring out their recommendations, and management are supposed to implement their internal audit recommendations. However, most district assemblies don't implement this recommendation. That's how they are cited in the external audit report. When they come, they find the same issues that internal auditors raised. Meanwhile, the internal auditors report does not go out it stays with you. Just accept it and then implement the recommendations in it before external auditors comes in.
And so, Mawuena, I don't know whether you have any final question to ask NK, to ask the developers of this report.
What I'm going to ask now is that, I mean, in terms of the allocations, because you were saying now the allocations are coming, and so sometimes the explanations as well doesn't quite make sense. Is there also a challenge in terms of the direction as to what the money should be used for, right? Because we know that now the releases which are coming from government, they say that this is for development.
They are tied
this is for
to
that.
specific
Yes,
areas.
use it for specific programs as well. Could that also be, because the central government is dictating how the money should be used at the local levels as well?
Yes, very well. That's 100% correct. Because it comes with it.
And not to cut you, so when we're playing the videos of the minister, in one of the areas, the money was dedicated to, I think, build a hospital or something, and they were saying they still do not have land. The minister told them that you should build a hospital, you don't get the land, but you have a chips compound that is deteriorated. Why don't you use the money to renovate it? So just lending credence to what Mawuena is asking.
Yes, exactly. And then that's true, because it comes with a strict checklist, what you should use the money for. And then as we engage with key stakeholders, I think it will come out. But then when you are planning for activities that you think you can implement within the year, as a planner, you should take into consideration all these things. You know that you don't have enough money. That's why you prioritize what you'll be able to do within a specific year. Yes, for me, their excuses doesn't really hold for me. And then we engage them thoroughly. We know that they are supposed to do it, but they are unable to do some of these things. But they have opportunity because we engage also with the key stakeholders, and then we give them our recommendations. And we hope that in future assessment, they will perform better for the citizens to fill the results in a proper way.
Okay, anything?
Yes, I want to ask if this is available via
soft copy.
Yes, it's available.
Yeah,
it's
so
available.
if you can,
we will share it with you. Yes,
and then a bit more in terms of the details as to
the detailed report will be published,
the methodology and so on.
So that we'll give it to our researchers and they'll punch holes in it. Wisdom.
CLGAghana.com.
CLGAghana.com.
Yes, it will be published shortly, and then I think we will get it. But for the district assemblies, we are giving them their individual district report to identify
whatever they want to
do what you can with it. Improve in the district, because when you improve, it will better the lot of the individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
It's a very good job. Yeah. Good job. I love it. I'm going to dig into it and put my pen to use.
Egbeta Quality Programs Manager, the Center for Local Governance Advocacy. Thank you so much for coming. So we have to go. Yes, Mawuena.
Yeah, so a colleague of mine is watching us from the US. On the Galamsey conversation, he sent this message. I believe the government must enforce the law without fear of favoritism, especially against powerful individuals like themselves and other chieftaincy leaders who support or finance illegal mining. At the same time, alternative jobs and training opportunities should be created for young people who depend on Galamsey for income. Protecting our natural resources should be a national responsibility, because once our water bodies and lands are destroyed, future generations will suffer the consequences. Codjoe Curtis is there as always. We say that we appreciate all of you who listen from everywhere and you join us here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Thank you. Before we go, one happy birthday wish this morning. It is going to Madame Edna Apia. Happy birthday to you, Madame Edna Apia. Today is your birthday. God bless your new age.
I have a birthday as well.
Yes, Mawuena.
Peggy Opong with Franco Trading Enterprise.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you as well. This is
Edna.
Yes, this is Edna. I don't have Peggy's picture here, but I'm just. So take her, let my face so that it will not look like you are wishing somebody else.
Peggy,
happy birthday to Peggy Opon as well. And then Kingsley